Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT podcast episode.
Pick a number. It could be any
And
number.
and that's the episode number.
69.
And
Hey.
No,
420.
it's not the nice episode, or even nice part 2 yet.
nice part two. You know what's nice? Gathering around the microphones with a group of friends made up of people like.
Whoa, hold up, friends?
Wait, yeah, I'm confused.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a strong word for what we are.
It's a strong word.
I don't know you people.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna throw away Tim's perfect transition to introducing ourselves.
It's
So
too
I'll
late.
go.
You guys already did.
No. For
It's a
the
horse
for the
now.
137th time, I'm Friedman, also known as Andrew, mostly known as Friedman.
Definitely not the 137th time because I've missed a few. Just Tyler.
Has anyone but me been there for all of them? Actually, hold on. Who's
No,
been
we've
here
never
for,
recorded an
for
episode of that,
noticeably less than 137?
I mean, I'm not even in triple digits. I don't even know if I'm halfway to triple digits, but I am the amazing AIDS.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm not going back and listening for the first week. Aiden was a more regular
Time to
guest.
track down where Aiden joined the podcast as a basically regular. We've actually.
Yeah, I kind of just let myself in.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna jinx our podcast and say we don't have that much stuff to talk about this week.
We don't have to talk about this week.
No, shut the fuck up. This
No,
happens
look at our
every time.
timestamps. It's
Nah,
always
man.
like it's 30 minutes of news, like 15 to 20 of Weeb shit, and then an hour and a half of talking about what we watched and played. It's not that hard to look at the timestamps.
Whatever, man. I don't need your shit, bro.
Speaking of
I don't need
timestamps,
it.
let's timestamp this first topic about the Nintendies.
All right, cool. I love bitching about Nintendo. It's one of my favorite pastimes. So
What a gamer!
last time we were here, I was gassing up Smash Bros. Since then, Sora's been out. Animal Crossing fans are getting super happy. But the third thing that got announced that I completely overlooked because I just did not care in the wake of the other news was the Nintendo Switch Online expansion, which for when it was announced, for an undetermined amount of money, you can get essentially what's like PlayStation Plus, but for Nintendo. And everyone said, Nintendo, what do I get for paying you extra money? And Nintendo's like, all right, hear us out. You ever heard of the Nintendo 64?
Oh my god, yeah.
Would you like to play 30 games from the Nintendo 64 whenever you want for $50 a year? And Nintendo fans like, fuck yeah, give me that. And I'm sitting here like, no, I'm still mad about what you offer for $20 and you didn't make it any more enticing. I still won't pay for Switch Online. But now the day of reckoning has come. All the big emulator guys were, screaming about how like these are gonna be bad ports. Look at what happened with Super Mario All Stars, and lo and behold, look what happened. These are just fucking terrible ports.
Are they
the
really?
input lag is apparently like noticeably bad. So much that like speedrunning on Switch is not viable.
Gee,
Oof.
who would have fucking called that?
In addition, they did nothing to account for the fact that these are very low resolution games and they don't look great on newer displays. So they did nothing to help ease how it looks. So it looks pretty crappy.
Way to
I
go,
mean-
Nintendo, another winner.
I mean, I know they
Congratulations.
tried to like scrub the internet of all their IPs, but I mean,
It's
they're
still
not
that
gonna
hard.
beat an emulator, man. You got to put in effort if this is what you want. Like,
Nintendo doesn't have to put in an effort. They just have. That's it. They have. Nintendo has. That's all they have to do.
Hold on, we are literally living Nintendo. What the fuck is the same?
What the
I mean,
fuck is
yeah.
this release?
I don't get it. Like maybe they just overvalue their property so much, but it's like we had the virtual console on the Wii. This is like not a new thing, and you used to charge like $4 to own it forever, air quotes, on Wii. And now it's like, yeah, we're a games as a service company, and N64 is our business model.
it seems like they're trying to play catch up, but instead of looking what everybody else did, they were like, fuck it, we're Nintendo, we'll just figure it out, and they just haven't.
Yes, it's 100%. They're like everyone's whining like, oh, there's a PlayStation Plus, there's Xbox Live Gold or whatever the fuck. Like Nintendo, where is it? Where is it? And Nintendo's like, fine, we'll release something so you shut the fuck up. There. Now we never have to think about this again. And it's just Nintendo giving these half-ass solutions because they are air quotes solutions,
You know,
and just being like, that's fine. You should be happy we put this product out.
So I have a hilarious anecdote for this. So at dinner, my sister-in-law recently moved out of the house that my wife and I are living in with her family, and my father-in-law has decided, oh, I'm getting her a Switch so she can play Animal Crossing, so she doesn't have to steal the Switch my wife got me, and he's like, Tim, I'm just gonna buy her the Switch, and we can just put all the Animal Crossing stuff that she did on it, right? And I'm just like, I just started laughing, and he's like, wait, what's funny? I don't understand. And I'm like, the funny thing is, you assume that Nintendo makes that process easy. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I have to research to make sure that there is a way to move an Animal Crossing island to another Switch. And lo and behold, it only came after release of the game.
Yeah, this was a huge thing when it came out, where everyone's like, if your Switch dies, your Animal Crossing village is dead. And everyone's like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to play this game?
And he's like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, you're goddamn right it doesn't make any sense. It's fucking Nintendo.
It's actually insane. I'm always afraid of what happens when my 3DS dies, because like nothing is backed up anywhere. Any game you bought is only on that device.
Nintendo, what the fuck?
Yeah, they
Period.
Knowing that you could re-download games you bought on Switch was a big deal 4 years ago, and that shouldn't have been a big deal even 10 years ago.
Hey Nintendo, welcome to 2021. We have cloud saving, please.
Right? Please.
Like legitimately, it's incredible how like Aiden, we were sad that what was the game that you were playing? Even though it was 3 weeks ago, it was like 20 games for you ago. It was the the thing we were gonna play on Game Pass, and it's like, oh, there's a bug where you can't play the Game Pass version co-op.
Not Back for
Blood.
It started with an A.
No, it wasn't. I can't remember for the life of me.
So we were like, oh, that sucks. But in the time, think about how impossible would it seem to someone who only knew Nintendo consoles to be like, oh, I pay for this service and it got a new game on there and I just downloaded it and was trying to play it within 20 minutes of finding out it existed. Like, that's just so impossible in any kind of Nintendo world.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Run that back one more time.
What?
Oh, no, repeat exactly what you said one more time, because I'm confused what you're getting at here.
No, just how, like, Nintendo doesn't have any kind of online system that makes it conducive to buying games, playing co-op, searching for games. Like,
oh, sorry, I thought you were just talking about buying it. I was going to say, the eShop always promotes the big Nintendo hit. Like, it's not like no one knows Animal Crossing came out, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
everything
else came out?
About it. Yeah. Well, like, big titles are pushed to the top. Like, it's not hard to find when a game releases on the eShop. Like, that's
you're
all
right.
it's
not hard to
for.
find when a Nintendo game comes out on the eShop, and that's
well, no. Like if a big name game comes out, you will know. Like, it's there.
I see. Here's another thing. Who thinks of going to the eShop just for fun?
I mean, hardcore Nintendo fans who
Can I just say who legitimately?
The same reason you guys went to Game Pass. You wanted to look for a game to play.
See, but no, Aiden was playing it, and we found out it was on Game Pass, and I just downloaded it because I have Game Pass, and we tried to play it together. Unrelated to Game Pass. I wasn't searching for games on Game Pass. Aiden was like, hey, I bought a new game, and I'm like, oh, cool. And I looked into it, and it's like, oh, it's on Game Pass. I have it for free.
Quote unquote free.
Quote free.
Anyway, we don't have to keep going on with this. Everyone knows that Nintendo's online system is the most antiquated.
Booty.
Yeah, shit sucks.
Period. Is there anyone?
Yeah.
Is there anyone in any kind of field whose online presence is worse than Nintendo's?
I mean, it's not common that you need to have your own online ecosystem for an electronic system now that Android is like the de facto OS for everything.
But the flip side of that is like you have Epic getting in, and Epic Store is supposed to be trash, but it's at least everything seems to run better than Nintendo's.
There's nothing wrong with Epic Store. It's just not like as good as Steam.
Didn't they like not have a fucking like shopping cart? Like you had to buy every game individually before at the beginning.
They used to.
Yeah, that was last year. They have updated the game store, but it is still not like you know, on Steam, it's like every page has like a community hub, and it has its own forums where you can like see things about issues with the game or how to fix certain things. And like, I can't tell you how many times I've had a problem with like a game launching on Steam, and I could just hop into the Steam's forums and like just get a solution in 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, Steam has, I mean, how many years has Steam been around? Like, we're coming up on like 2 decades, I feel like.
Yeah, I'd argue that Steam's at the top, but like when it comes to Epic, I just treat it like I would literally any other storefront or application where it's like all I do is just buy games from here, and if I have problems, I go Google what the solution is.
That
No, it's like
yeah,
it's not a
it's
deal
pretty
breaker.
much it.
I get that it's not as good as Steam.
It is just a storefront in the same way that, like, you know, any other digital storefront.
Right,
here's
fine,
the
my
product, you
comparison
play
didn't
it.
work okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's gotten better. I still have a huge issue with them like paying developers for exclusivity.
Yeah, not happy
Well,
about it.
that's not okay.
I
Now
would
we're
be
getting
fine.
into Epic.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like,
We're just having an
that's
Epic
my
gamer
main
moment.
problem with it. It's not the structure of the Epic Game Store. It is simply their, you know, their behavior as a company. I digress.
Speaking of digressing,
I would say speaking of storefronts with their own online systems, let's talk about Blizzard real quick here. So two big pieces of news. Well, we'll ignore the lawsuits and everything like that because that's real actual news. You'll hear that on real gaming outlets, not this cool kids club that just talks about controversies. But first things first, Luigi's gonna be super mad about this. BlizzCon. All right, I said Blizzard 2022. BlizzCon 2022 is
honestly,
canceled.
Blizzard is canceled. It feels like.
Damn.
It pretty much is at this point. So I think this is a couple different things at once. They said they wanted to create a safe environment for next year, but this is a combination of issues. First and foremost, we still got COVID going on. It's difficult to run a convention as is. Second of all, they're not announcing anything. Their big game that was supposed to be out this winter, Overwatch 2, is still not. They're not even sure if it's going to make next year. So they have nothing to show off.
Wow.
It'd be super cool to take an off year. At the same time, and I think we could argue that Blizzard is kind of like in a death spiral at the moment.
Certainly not
For
well.
sure.
So I can't help but shake the feeling like BlizzCon was eventually going to be on the chopping block, and this is just strike while the iron's hot. Deal with it now. Don't have a
Use
shitty
COVID
year and then
as
have
an
to cancel it.
excuse, Kind of like, remember how when E3 was first canceled because of COVID, everyone was like, "Ooh, E3 can use this as an excuse to just back out of existing."
Yeah, but then E3 was like semi-functional online.
No, I get that, but Blizzard could be thinking the same thing, like you said, of like, "Hey, this is our chance to clean cut, cancel BlizzCon forever because." What are we going to make another announcement of a WoW expansion that's going to do great for about a week and then everyone's going to leave?
Also, we can't talk about any of our mobile games here. People will murder us.
Literally. So yeah, I that would be interesting to see if they're just like, yep, we're just going to use this as an excuse to never talk about BlizzCon ever again.
Ironically enough, after we just shit on Nintendo, I'd say Nintendo Directs are the one thing they really got right that everyone else is like, damn, we need those too. Forget E3. This Thursday will be E3.
Yeah, right. We choose the E3.
Mom said it's my turn with the press media. Anyway,
Jesus
second thing about Blizzard.
That was too real.
This is the one I'm annoyed about. So they announced a while ago they were going to change McCree's name in Overwatch because he is named after an employee who was apparently caught up in the sexual harassment scandals. I'm fine with that, except they just went in like completely opposite direction. Instead of keeping some cowboy westerner themed name, they're like, nah, McCree has to like go back to his past and remember his real name, Cole Cassidy. And I'm sitting here,
I hate it.
I'm just like, why? Like, you can't even have it be close. Like, it's like, I understand not naming it after the original guy, but like at the same time, this character has been like a core character in multiple like Overwatch cinematics over the course of what, the last 5 years. And it's like, nah, now he just has a completely different name. Get used to it.
We changing the name. It's like, okay. All right.
But like, the thing is, what I don't understand about Overwatch, the gimmick when it came out was no character went by their first and last name. Everyone had a code name they were using. McCree, Soldier, Mercy, Farah is not even her first name, and now it's just Cole Cassidy. No, he doesn't have any like just any one word nickname. So like, there's especially when it comes to like professional games with call outs, no one like either gonna pick Cole or they're gonna pick Cassidy. My question is which one.
Are they gonna
And
be
is
the?
it-
Who's gonna be the first caster at like a Blizzard event? Who's gonna be like, look, it's the Overwatch League, and we got McCree. Oh shit! I mean, Cole Cassidy.
We
Well,
won't
no,
know
it's
because
noon.
that won't make broadcast, and they're gonna disappear into a black bag.
Goddamn.
Shit. But I mean, is he
I don't know.
wrong though? No.
I'm like, I'm on the fence about this. Like, it's fine that they changed the name. I think they needed a better name than Cole
Yeah, no, I'm
Cassidy.
fine
This
with
is
a
like,
name change,
yeah.
but it was just so like reading this. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is not like an exciting name to read.
or like, I don't know, maybe leave McCree or like keep his first name Jesse or something. Like, this feels so detached from the character now because it's. And I mean, I think there's
They
merit
coulda
to that,
literally
but like
kept Jesse.
nobody thinks about like Jesse McCree, the Blizzard developer. They think about Jesse McCree, the character in Overwatch.
Well, okay,
It's
we can't go
like,
down that road
I don't know.
because outside of people on the internet complaining about it, like no mainstream person was gonna be half the people who play Overwatch didn't even know that this was the case.
Yeah.
True. That's true. I don't know. This, you know what this reminds me of? Like, this reminds me of that moment in Rurouni Kenshin where like you find out what his real name is, and I'm like, no, that's stupid. Your name's Kenshin. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm upset Blizzard didn't do something like a community poll, like put out like 50 names and let the community pick which one they want. Like, I don't know, give some kind of agency to the players because everyone's looking at this like, okay, like I didn't see a single person going, wow, I like this name. Like some
Yeah,
people
I
are
mean,
just very whatever about it, but
I guess he's just Cole now because, you know, why are we gonna waste 3 syllables? Like,
It could have
But
even
I
that's
been
agree with
like,
Hayden. Like they literally could have just left his name Jesse. They could have just taken out McCree. Like, yo, his name's Jesse now.
yeah, they
That's
could have
it.
just they could have just shortened to Jesse.
or what if they had just leaned into like given him the name Cole Cassidy, but leaned into giving him a new code name, like you said earlier, Freeman. Like, what if he'd been like Gunslinger or some shit like that, or
Yeah,
or,
like he
Quick
needs
Draw or some shit.
needs a title.
Give him a title and then change his name. Because who calls like? Why was he called McCree? Because he doesn't have a name like Soldier.
Oh, on the menu, his name is just Cassidy now.
That's not a fucking title. That also doesn't roll
Well, I
off
mean,
the
like
tongue like
ones like
McCree
Lucio
does.
and May aren't titles either, but it was just like short little one-word monikers, and I don't know. Cassidy
yeah, I
doesn't
mean,
do
they
it.
should have done Cole over Cassidy. That's that's just me though.
Well,
It is
now
what it
we're
is.
here, so yeah.
Speaking
it
of
is
here
what
we
it
are.
is.
yeah,
I don't know. Does anybody care? Does anybody play Overwatch? When was the last time we played Overwatch?
I want to play.
A
I want
hot
to care about
minute.
Overwatch. I really want to play Overwatch 2 if that game comes out, but
I would.
whatever.
I also want to care because like it was really cool. They just like they had a great IP that I feel like just nothing happened with.
something did
Yeah.
happen, and then they delayed it 2 years.
Oh
Like we're
yeah,
still waiting
that's
for the
fair.
story of this franchise to start. Like 5 years in.
God, that's so pathetic. That's just so
Stupid.
insane that it's taken this long to do Overwatch 2, and now they're just like, nah, still no word. We don't know what's happening.
Anyway, speaking of stuff that's taken too long,
Oh,
it's time for
Christ.
some backstory because apparently this
Oh,
shit was
man.
not originally on the podcast. This was a conversation we had just among our group when I was fixing my computer like 3 years ago. But listeners, 3 years ago I bought an RTX 2070. Why? Because I was convinced ray tracing will be a big thing in games in the future, and I want a card that's compatible. And everyone in the chat was like, well, fucking shit. Write down in 3 years whether you're wrong or not. And I was like, well, maybe I will. Well, was it 3 or was it 2? Yeah, it was 3 years ago. So I wrote down in my calendar on my phone, podcast topic, is RTX dead? And unfortunately, a month ago when it came up, it was during one of our off weeks, and then I straight up forgot to put it in the show notes last week. So we're going to talk very briefly this week. 3 years later, is RTX dead?
Nope.
No.
It's not dead, but we're not at the stage where I absolutely need a graphics card that supports it.
True. That's true. The progress has been slow, but I mean, like, a lot of technologies are like that.
Well, also not for
Also,
nothing, the
it's
COVID.
a small segment of the market as
Yeah,
well.
I'd also say the COVID slowdown of as everybody wanted to get into crypto mining,
Oh yeah, the
destroying the
graphics card
availability
availability is
of
killing.
high-end graphics cards means that who the
Yeah.
fuck was gonna push? What's the point in pushing ray tracing?
Yeah, when no one has the product to use it. Damn,
I
COVID just
know.
ruins everything. I thought this topic would be a lot more in depth here, but unfortunately, I couldn't foresee how few games would actually utilize it. I guess this will actually kind of tie into the next topic. I'm not going to have us jump over, especially on the timestamp. But I think a lot of what held ray tracing back, especially at the beginning, was that for a number of like big PC releases, they were also being developed for consoles at the same time. And unless consoles supported ray tracing, there was next to no reason to develop it exclusively for the PC version.
And it's not like
True.
consoles have ray tracing at all yet figured out.
So the problem is PS5 does support ray tracing, but at the same time, it's PS5. No one fucking has one. So
And they don't make games for it anyways.
So, all right, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna roll the next topic into this one, because I wanted to. I put this down before the podcast. I'm like, oh, we should bring up the God of War is coming to PC, and he's like,
Hell
is this
yeah.
news? Like, Sony's been doing this, and this kind of ties into the bigger picture of what's happening with Sony. Because I want to bring everyone back to the ancient times, late 2019 or mid 2019, where Sony's like, hey, we're gonna release the PS5, but just know it's going to be a limited release. Like, there's not going to be that many units available. Like, we're just letting everyone know. Like, we're not pushing out a shit ton of games because we won't have a lot of consoles available for you to buy. And then it went on to be, like, hard to find at launch. Then COVID happens. And production's down on top of a console that was already having production issues before COVID was a thing. So Sony kind of put themselves in this weird spot where they don't have a lot of consoles out, so there's no point in developing games that are exclusive to PS5. A lot of games that are coming right now are still being developed for PS4 and PS5 jointly, so it can't do anything crazy because it has to still run on last gen consoles.
So the answer.
Well, no, there is no answer. They can't use ray tracing because the last gen doesn't support it. So we're still being held back because we're stuck on last gen. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
I thought you were.
That was the segue to PC.
Yeah, that was the segue to saying everything's coming out on PC now from Sony.
Oh, well, that's part 2 of this. But yes, I'm glad you caught on to the general flow of these topics. But I'll wrap with the RTX bit real quick. Until console games support it, I don't think you're going to see widespread use. It's going to be like pretty much PC titles or stuff like Cyberpunk with these super ambitious projects where it's like, this is a PC developed game that we will port to consoles as opposed to developing at the same time. But until we hit that point, like, RTX isn't dead, but it's like sleeping at the wheel.
I mean, I feel like this is a trend as old as time, though. Like, how many games are just held back by consoles? Like, there are very few games that like push limits on,
Tech.
as far as technologies go.
Yeah.
Just because like nobody's gonna be able to play it, and like until the largest market segment gets those technologies, developers aren't going to target those technologies.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think RTX is just the latest in a long line of very, very slow build-ups.
Yeah, nothing, in my mind, nothing that is exclusive to PC is ever... There's almost no AAAs that are exclusive to PC. And without being exclusive to PC, no one's doing ray tracing right now.
I mean, like, a lot of the AAA games still, like, they just throw it in there. Like, Control had ray tracing. Guardians of the Galaxy has ray tracing. Like, it's out there, but, like, it's not something that you're going to see in anything less than, like, a AAA game. I don't think.
Yeah. 2018 me was convinced, like, there's going to be games coming out where it's like, if you don't have ray tracing, you can't play it. And now I realize, wow, that was a really dumb take to make back then. Like, it was, well, I didn't realize it was going to be like an optional lighting thing where companies would have to be like, hey, we are going to use the RTX lighting engine, but at the same time, we're going to use a normal one that everyone else can run too. Like, in my mind, I'm like, why would you do 2 lighting engines? Just pick one. And if it's not RTX, then is RTX dead? Was my entire thought process.
I mean, we're heading that way. Eventually, RTX will likely be the standard, like,
like the default they develop with.
Yeah,
It's just a
because
matter of when the hardware is out.
until everybody can do that, they're not gonna, least common denominator.
Yeah.
I
There
wonder
it
how
is.
much harder, like, obviously tools improve with time, but I wonder if it's like noticeably more work for the devs to do ray tracing than it is to like not do it. I wonder how much of development of ray tracing is literally helped by the tools that are out now, or if there's no real good tools that are out yet to make it easy enough to just incorporate.
Yeah, even as a developer, it's hard for me to speculate because I have absolutely no clue what even the existing tools look
No,
like
I know, and
versus
that's
what's
why I'm not
available for
asking anybody
non-architects.
for an answer. I'm just throwing out there. Like, I genuinely wonder how much harder it is as a dev to do ray tracing. Do you have to do a lot of crazy stuff? Do you have to like train the lighting engine? I don't know. I have no idea what goes into it.
Hmm.
All I know is that it takes up a lot of storage. Like if it's, I don't know how ray tracing exactly works, like down to it. All I know is that from experience, that lighting takes up the most processing time out of anything, and it takes the most data because there's a lot more calculating that has to be done into it.
Right.
Right? It's taking all the literally every angle of things. It's like, and especially if
Calculating all
something
of them at the same
moves
time.
and shadows, yeah, it's calculating all of these things. And
Yeah.
if you've ever had to render a map, and you'll see the time it takes. It's like, oh, you got your fucking shaders and all that other stuff, and it's like you're just light map, just you're sitting there just waiting for it to just load.
Mm.
So it's a lot. It's a lot, especially because the parts, especially too, to have the resources. Like even a lot of our computers can't even support ray tracing because of how demanding it is. So that's just from my surface level experience.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
All right, we can pivot into part 2 of the topic, which I know you guys want to talk about, was the Sony on PC strategy.
So
Which
after looking into it, I still find it hilarious that this kind of was just announced and given a date out of the blue. I could have sworn this had been announced, but I didn't see anything saying this had been announced a while ago.
it wasn't. It just kind of happened.
But yeah, God of War is coming to PC the day after my birthday next year.
Hell yeah!
I'm excited to,
Hope
even though I've
hope
seen
it
an
works.
LP of this. Yeah, I'm
So
excited to play this, even though I've already seen a full LP of this before.
I thought they'd updated with some news that Sony themselves isn't handling the port, but there's another studio that they've been handing all their PC ports to. So I guess quality of their previous ports will be indicative of how this one's going to go.
I mean,
I have no clue.
Horizon Zero Dawn, I think, is good.
the reason I
didn't
didn't
have any
finish
problems with
Horizon is
that.
because I was bored by Horizon, not because Horizon's port was bad.
Gotcha.
And that's
Yeah,
more me not having time to dedicate to games these days, that I couldn't sit down and really get into Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon's a long one.
Well, and I've also talked about my issues with the combat system and all that. We don't have to get into that.
It's a lot better on mouse and keyboard. At least
No. I don't mean
Really?
literally the combat systems. I mean the difficulty curve that you run, the shoot up in difficulty that happens about 3 hours into the game after you get out of the tutorial valley and you get a little bit of progress in, and then you go to a new zone after that first big outpost outside the main village. As soon as I hit that point in the game, I ran outside and I just couldn't kill anything anymore. All of a sudden.
Oh, weird. I don't know. I don't feel like I ever really ran into a wall.
Oh no, yeah. I got to that second outpost on the mountaintop and tried doing quests after it, after basically doing all the quests before I could get to that point. And I just legitimately was like, oh my god, I've set as many traps as I can, I've used all my special items, and just nothing I'm fighting is dying at all.
I don't know, man.
Well, regardless, that Horizon I know people love, and I will not dispute is a good game. Like I said, I had my own issues getting into it, but I still recognize the quality there, and I'm very excited to play the God of War game on PC. And then I can have more context for Ragnarok.
You can
Yeah.
just play it right now. I mean, nothing.
No, I
nothing's
don't have a way to
stopping you.
do it.
What? Excuse you?
Yeah, you heard me.
You don't have a way, huh?
Yeah, I don't have a way.
Yo,
This is the
listeners,
way.
Timpedia is a liar.
No, I'm
He's an
not.
absolute liar. Don't listen to him.
Smash that dislike, unsubscribe.
Dislike, unsubscribe,
Leave me in
unding that
comments.
bell.
Leave.
Dude.
Damn.
Only in this video. Sorry, I should
Not
specify.
forever.
Tyler, why are you attacking me like this? I didn't do
Why are
anything.
you attacking our friendship?
Tyler,
Damn.
so I have.
Holy crap.
I don't have
Holy
a way.
crap.
The PS4 was taken.
I told you how you can.
I don't want to. Tyler.
There's
I
a really cool movie you should watch about a guy who takes back something of his that was taken.
Oh God.
My God. What
I don't
the
know who you are. I don't know where you're from, but I need that PS4.
Yeah, I could
Wow.
just I
Gee
could loan it
whiz.
to you, man. It's even the God of War PS4.
I
It's
know
in
it is,
theme.
but Tyler, my
But
Xbox
Tim.
controller and my PC.
No, don't you dare,
Why don't you play this PS4 game? I don't know, man. I have a GameCube controller.
man. I can't.
Don't you dare!
No, I'm
I told
upset.
you I was gonna do this.
I'm mad because I can't argue with you. I can't because I do also blasphemous things.
Yeah, coming from the guy who fucking played Halo on PC
I
with a
literally
PlayStation
said-
controller.
But you know what though? But you know what? Number one, that's all I have. Number two,
Oh,
I
you
am
mean
literally
that's the only thing you have for
loaning-
PC, huh? You mean like
I'm
me?
loaning you my PS4 with the controller.
Wait, I don't know why we're shitting on Tyler for using the best controller ever made.
That's what I'm saying,
my
bro.
God.
Dude, I don't know,
That's
man.
what
The
I'm
PS,
saying,
the
bro.
Didn't mean
PS5
that, didn't mean
controller
that,
is pretty
just
high
trying to
quality.
cheer
Well, the PS5 is pretty cool. I kind of like the rounded edges though of the DualShock 4 more a little bit though.
Which rounded edges? They're all rounded edges,
No,
man.
no. Like they're actually
The
rounded as
Xbox One
opposed to
controls
like.
much more rounded than the PlayStation's handles are.
Oh no, I was talking about the PlayStation 4s compared to the PS5.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Xbox compared to PlayStation.
No.
Oh yeah,
So
the
what
PS5
I
was
do-
much rounder.
So what I don't like so far, what I learned a long-term use of the DualShock 4, two things. One are the analog stick covers, like the rubberized, like
Oh, they'll wear
those
away.
wear off. If you don't have covers for them, they're just gonna rub right off.
Unless you're like
the
me, and you just
second-
treat your sticks delicately.
Yeah, unlike me, who was doing Destiny raids every fucking week. So
Oh
like,
yeah,
you
no,
know.
that'll ruin it.
The only other thing that I have a problem with, it's not even really with the controller, it's the platform of micro USB and how like it just
Oh, it's mega old.
loses how it gets old, like how it gets worn out, right? And like so it won't stay seated well over time.
So hold on, I'm gonna provide a counter argument because while I hate when that happens, I'm now on my second phone where just the USB-C port is just wearing out from constant use. So I'm
USB-C. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
so-
almost guaranteed that Lightning cord is the way to go. Too
I
bad
hate
they
it,
got
though.
rid of it. Too bad they ixnayed it. Thank you, Europe. Actually, though, fuck Apple.
Look, I'm fine with
It's
USB-C. I'm
worth
fine with
it.
this reversible universal standard, but like I think people are understating how fragile USB-C ports actually are. They're not as durable as they're made out to be.
Is there any
I
indication?
must just be the most lucky person ever. I've never had a problem with USB-C ports, but everybody I know has.
Is
So I
phone
haven't-
3.
So I haven't had issues, but here's the thing. I do my nightly charging of my phone using a wireless charger, not the port. So I put way less strain on my USB-C port on my phone than I think most people who do wired charging every night do.
Yeah. That's
I'm
usually
talking
what-
about the
what's doing it.
DS4 though.
Yeah, the DS. Micro USB, like even because I think the PS3 also used that too. I had the same problem with the PS3 controller. Was like after a year or two, it's just like you gotta be careful that cable's not staying in.
That was actual. It was USB.
It was micro.
It wasn't micro.
No, you're talking about mini USB versus micro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
maybe.
it
Sorry.
actually? Did it use the,
Yeah,
the
it's a
big
mini.
fat?
Yes,
Alright,
it was a
maybe
mini.
Yeah.
It was a mini USB, not a micro.
Gotcha.
Fucking hated those
Right.
names. They always made it so confusing to know which one for sure. Like I always
Yeah.
had to do like a half pot. Wait, am I talking about mini or micro?
Then you have USB 3, but then also 3 Type C versus 3 Type A, and then
Yeah, I
3 and
mean, all right.
3
there
and
any-
USB-C and Thunderbolt 3 are different plugs, but they're the same plug.
I know we're at the point where
Maddening.
C is getting pretty mainstream usage. Like there aren't many things coming out these days that use mini. Is there any indication of a next step kind of thing, or no?
Not that
At the,
I've seen
the
I don't
moment,
outside
think I
of
know
no.
of anything.
outside of wireless charging. No.
I mean, something will pop up on the horizon. It
Sure.
always does.
Yeah.
I would rather like to have
Right now
something that is more reliable though than USB-C.
Sure.
I know
So
it's
so real quick, USB 4 is happening, but it's using just the USB-C plug type. So we're not seeing a change of port type.
Yeah. I mean,
It'd be like the jump from USB 2 to USB 3, still using Type A ports.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, how many times are we gonna have to change a port standard though? Right?
It would,
I mean, like
honestly,
USB-C, I
has to
think
be
works well enough.
it has to be if there's a genuine
for
improvement to
now.
it. I think the reversibility of C made it like head and shoulders better than A.
Oh yeah.
But until there's like another big feature, I don't think there's, unless they find that like, oh, we actually need 3 times the pins to move
Well,
X
yeah,
amount
that's
of data.
my question: is when is the pin count gonna need to change?
Yeah, that would probably be it. Once we're actually limited by how much data you can move on that physical space, then we'll see an update. But we're clearly not there yet, given that USB 4 is like still on the horizon and it can use the same port to go faster.
Mm-hmm.
40 gigabits per second. Yeah.
Wow.
Damn. Crazy.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, we
That's
meandered a bit.
meandered. What do you do? That was like 4 tangents on top of each other.
The topic was, is RTX dead? And somehow we got on. It's like, is USB-C here to stay? Is this okay? Do we want this?
Is RTX here to stay? Is USB-C here to stay?
You know what? I have a question too, and that question is the Dune movie that just came out getting us a part 2 confirmed? And the answer
Oh, it
came
did,
today.
yeah.
Yes, we got it
Yeah.
in time for the podcast. Now I can go from being skeptical about this movie to being positive about this movie. But yeah, they definitely totally already had part 2 confirmed, and we're doing this. I don't know. Is it gonna get one? Maybe
Well,
if you
no.
guys see an IMAX opening weekend, we'll know.
So legitimately, the director, even Denis Villeneuve, was like, there is no official confirmation, and they have to shoot more stuff. He shot a lot of extra stuff, but he did not get to shoot everything explicitly for part 2 because the studio is like, no, we're not sure about Dune. And then, of course, fucking opening weekend, they're like, wow, we're sure about Dune now.
It's,
They greenlit and funded 4 new fucking Avatar movies though.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. No,
still
I
haven't
That's
seen
believe,
not
Avatar 2
sci-fi.
yet.
That's not sci-fi. That's why.
I believe they knew though. They knew that Dune was gonna get a sequel. They knew it was gonna fucking smash opening
But
weekend.
why would they come? Why wouldn't they have done it like Lord of the Rings then, and then do it one and then a year later? We're literally gonna have to wait over two full years to get this sequel.
I think because when they started filming on it, I thought they could get it all into one movie, and then they're like, oh,
No.
yeah,
But as soon as
we
you do
can't.
that, then why don't you just pivot?
Because they need to readjust everyone's contracts, and the studio's like, whoa, you want to sign everyone for a second movie deal when we haven't seen how this movie does? And that's how they get in their predicament of, let's see how it does before we sign everyone again. Even though my concern is that, like, in order to fit the October 2023 deadline, it means shooting starts next summer. I'm curious, did any of these actors take any other things during the like proposed shooting time? Like, are we gonna have sudden recasts between part 1 and part 2?
Let's hope Josh Brolin doesn't get another Thanos role.
He wouldn't
It's
actually.
still so incredible to me that he put out Deadpool 2 and the Avengers movies like within the same year. That's so fucking crazy. Like,
he busts his
that
ass.
guy's nuts.
Some people are just built different, man.
You know what else is built different?
Oh God.
Is this
Oh
a
no,
truck
no, 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 wait,
commercial?
no! You gotta
what?
like because noise suppression's stuck on.
Damn.
That was such a good transition. It felt like fuck.
No, say it again.
You know what else is built different?
Some weeb shit.
I was gonna say people in Japan for that week.
Wow.
Weeb shit hits differently. Sorry, I'm trying to work this transition into something.
Maybe it's
fixable,
time
but
for me to leave.
Time to hit the old dusty train.
Maybe it's
Damn.
time for me to be hitting the old dusty.
All right, so minor Weeb shit news here because it's mostly just going to be in the what we watch segment is where I do my big rant this week. But some minor announcements. First and foremost, go ahead.
Sorry, Freeman. I didn't mean to stop you.
Wow, way to go, jerk.
No. I meant to. I was too excited by my transition. You're the only one who saw Dune, so we're not gonna. Do you want to talk about it in the watch section, or do you want to just really quickly here?
I'll hold. Is anyone else planning on watching? Because if so, we can do a
Obviously.
discussion.
I mean, listen, I already know what the fuck happens because I read the book. So.
Well, so do I, but that doesn't mean I don't want to wait and see the movie.
Either way, I can give my
Tyler-
my short review if we want to undo, and then we can come back to the Weeb shit.
Yes,
I don't care,
sorry.
we can
Yeah, go
wait.
ahead.
All right, rewind. Undo the wow. I'm not wowed anymore. I'm still talking about Dune. So, as someone who knew nothing about the franchise, I think it did a fine job of explaining concepts, even though a lot of fans were just like, wow, they completely glossed over a lot of the explanations of how
Big
spice
shock
and
from
intergalactic
a
travel
fucking
and
book
shit
like
works.
that.
Overall, characters really great. I understand what they mean. This has to be seen in IMAX. There were so many amazing wide shots that were just really great to see in detail on a huge screen. I'm very happy I saw this one in IMAX instead of watching on HBO Max. Sound direction's great. Casting was good. Costuming was great. My only issue was, and my friend kind of tempered me before we went to the movie. She's like, "Hey, just so you know, like this is meant to be a part one. Don't be mad when it doesn't have a conclusive ending." And we walked out of the movie ends, and in the first split second, my first thought was, "That's it." They had all these visions and flash forwards to shit that wasn't in the movie. What was this? And then I'm like, all right, you know what? They're just setting up for a good multi-movie series. I can get behind that if there's a part 2 happening. And then I turn around, I'm like, did they confirm a part 2? And they're like, no, they're waiting to see how it does. I'm like, God damn it. So I was very conflicted this whole weekend because while I enjoyed the movie, I left the theater feeling like
There has to be a part 2 for this.
yeah, this is missing a lot. Like it felt like we watched an hour and a half prologue and then the first hour of a movie is how
what
it
was
felt.
hilarious was when you came to Tim's house and you're telling us about it, and I'm like, wait, hold up. When did they end it? And you told me, and me and Val are like, are you fucking kidding me?
So it's funny. I went home to my parents' house for dinner because my brother was visiting, and my brother and dad both read the series. So I mentioned them they're like, what part did it end at? I'm like, well, do you want me to spoil it? Like, yeah, was it at blah blah? And I'm like, no, we haven't gotten to that. He's like, oh wait, shit, what part are they at? And I'm like, oh, sandworm, and they're just looking at me and they're like, wait, no. I was like, yeah, they ended it halfway through. He's like, they didn't even end it halfway through. He's like, they barely covered 200 pages.
Yeah.
And I was like, it is what it is. It's part 1. But they
It
had
is
basically
what
the
it
same
is.
reaction.
At
you
this
developed.
rate, it's a fucking gonna be a 3-part movie just for the first book.
That's fine. We could use a new trilogy.
New trilogy?
When's the
gonna be
last
like a
When's the last
9-part
time we had a
series.
good nerd trilogy to call a trilogy?
Tyler, hold on. We do
What?
not need to get more books beyond the first.
I hear the
those
trilogy.
continuing books are fucking.
I hear the third one is
Sorry,
good.
I
From
meant
multiple
trilogy of movies,
sources.
But they are like, if you think the first book is weird, holy shit.
Oh, I know.
It gets weird as fuck.
So Aiden and I have a buddy. His name is Kyle, and he's like one of the fucking Dune lore dumps, which apparently I didn't know was overruled by Griff. Holy shit. That man. Anyway, he he glossed over some of the later books because I told him I wasn't gonna read any more of them.
That's fine.
So I was like,
don't.
because the first one wraps up pretty good.
Yes,
actually,
it does.
And it just downward spirals. It gets into some weird shit with the sandworms that I'm not gonna get into right now. I'm just gonna say it's weird.
Worm people, let's go.
Worm people. I don't want to talk about it. It's weird stuff,
That's
man.
fine. Don't talk about it. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. But I do want to see it though.
Yes.
Are you seeing it with Jim?
I don't know when he's seeing it, but we don't have any.
I'll say I'll go
plans set.
see it with you guys
wanna do
unless.
movie
Oh
night
wait,
again?
unless. Huh?
You want to do movie again? like we saw the Bond boy.
We could. I'll say we can get Aiden in on this because he's trying to see it.
Ooh.
Damn, I unintentionally excluded
Yeah, I'm
myself.
down.
You went to see it with other
You,
people
guys,
already.
you saw it with
Yeah, I know.
friends.
I unintentionally exclude myself.
You can come with us.
No, it's fine.
wanna
I
see
don't
it
want. I
again?
don't want to rewatch it so soon after.
You want to see
Let
this
me
movie?
tell
wanna
you
see it
something,
again?
Freeman.
Well, no,
If
because I'm
you're
gonna
trying to
rewatch
see-
it in 2 years when 2 comes out.
If you're trying to see No Time to Die, I'll see that movie.
Oh, I'd
again.
see No Time to Die again.
Oh, damn, for real?
Oh,
Dude.
100%. I would watch that movie again.
Okay.
I have to. I have to admit to a crime though.
It's
What's the
probably not as bad
crime?
as you're gonna sound like it is.
I haven't seen Skyfall yet, so I'd have to watch that one first.
You okay? Never mind. I
Oh,
lied.
yeah.
You must see Skyfall.
You
first.
have. He's got to see. I think so. Here's the thing.
You also
I
have to
think
see
he has
Spectre.
to see Casino Royale.
You have to watch all of them except
So
maybe
I've al-
Quantum.
All
Nah,
right, I've only
Quantum.
seen
I mean,
Quantum
you
of
could-
Solace
you
as the
can
last
get-
one.
My God.
You
Are
can
you
get
kidding?
away with a
Wait,
synopsis,
Wait,
man.
no. This is
Okay,
a crime.
he committed a
I
crime.
got dragged to
You
Quantum. I was like,
committed a crime.
because I didn't see Casino Royale when it came out. Friends like, oh, we're gonna see Quantum. I didn't see Casino Royale. Like, you
What
don't need
the
to see it. They're like, you don't need to see it to get this movie. I'm like, sure.
Oh
So I
my
watched it. I was like, I feel
God.
like I missed a lot.
Freeman, I want you to know
Jesus
that you were
Christ.
betrayed and lied to because that is complete.
You were
bullshit.
betrayed and lied
There is
to.
no, literally, okay. Until
Look, man, we were
the
in high
Daniel
school
Craig,
when Quantum came out. Like,
Freeman, until the Daniel Craig movies, you could legitimately go see any James Bond movie and have no problem. It is only since Daniel Craig started playing Bond that you need to see all the movies in order except Quantum. You could
great.
Actually,
So I need to
I
watch
will-
the trilogy then.
I'll argue that you can watch Skyfall standalone.
But you get
I honestly
more
think-
context for sure if you've seen
You-
Casino
you
Royale
do.
still plays in No Time to Die.
Oh, all right. So that's the thing, right? No, that's what I'm saying. So this is the thing. I think if you were to watch Skyfall standalone, it's fine. You try to go see No Time to Die, you cannot. You have to watch the other ones.
I guess, but like if you know you want to watch Skyfall, just watch Casino Royale first.
Actually, no. You also have to watch Spectre.
That's what I just said before.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about Quantum.
So here's the real thing. Before No Time to Die leaves theaters, we need to have a James Bond day where we binge Freeman through
Fuck. As long as we don't watch
Skyfall,
Quantum.
Spectre.
We
I'm
can,
not
we can,
watching
we can skip
Quantum.
Quantum. Full disclosure, I didn't
That's what I
like it in
just said.
theaters. I can literally just reread the plot synopsis because I loosely remember what was
Freeman,
going on.
you
in
don't.
that movie.
None of it applies.
Vesper dies. Vesper's dead, and he tries to get revenge. That's the movie. Who
Wait,
fucking
what?
Yes.
cares?
Oh, in Quantum?
Quantum, yeah.
I mean, the action's cool, but yeah, you don't need to see the movie. But seriously,
That's it.
we could watch. I would happily take a day and watch all three.
We can watch Casino. We can watch Skyfall and begrudgingly watch Spectre.
Look, Spectre
then we can
isn't
go see No
that
Time to
bad.
Die.
Spectre is not.
It's not bad, but
it's the
like
weakest of
there's
those three,
so
but, like,
much.
But
Wait,
Sky-
shit, I
It's just
forgot
a
Spectre was
lot.
between Skyfall and the current one. Fuck, I'm so far behind on all these goddamn movies.
Yes.
The thing is, Spectre, it's like there's so much plot that happens in
That's
No
what I'm
Time to
saying.
Die. Yeah.
that relies
telling him.
literally. You don't know who one of the most pivotal scenes in that movie is. Like, hello, character who is very important from Spectre.
Yeah, like the only really, like, he's the mastermind.
Yep, I know. Yep. Yeah, but we should
Anyway,
definitely do that,
I'm
Freeman, 'cause
okay
those
with
are all
that.
great movies.
And then we'll figure out a time on when to go to oh god, I almost said Foundation, Dune.
Foundation.
They're both books that freaking Val's dad got me on. So it's like,
Hell yeah.
and I read them I think after each other. Like I think after I read the first Foundation book, I like dropped the second one and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna read Dune. And then I read Dune.
All right.
And I was like, damn, these are both bangers.
Sorry, once again, and this one was my fault. We completely swerved off of.
Who cares?
It's fine. We'll just need to update the timestamp because it's once again time for the Weeb shit.
Nah, time
So-
still stays.
No, update the timestamp. We were still talking about doing that whole time. All right.
Fine,
So
fine,
first
fine,
and foremost,
fine.
First and foremost, one of the I guess, former directors from Studio Trigger. Earlier last year, he spun up his own studio, but they were still kind of starting up. So, like, their first major project was doing assistance on Trigger productions like Promare. And then since then, they've done like minor slice of life shows. They did I think Azure Lane, one of the big gotcha games, got a shitty anime adaptation through them. But point is, today they're like, hey, we know we're known for doing slice of life. We're known for doing gotcha game adaptations, and we're here to announce 2 new shows. The first of which is they're adapting Arknights into an anime. But the second one, and this is the real important one, is they announced a new cute girls doing cute things type show. But this time, instead of camping, instead of cooking, instead of all this other shit, they are playing golf. So
they're the ones doing that thing, yeah.
The ex-varsity golfer, I'm very excited to watch this. End of that news story. Thought you guys would hate that.
I actually dig this. I'm cool with this. I like golf.
I'm perfectly fine with people with like niche sports or other things getting exposed through just cute anime girls. This is perfectly fine. It seems to bolster the industry in Japan. If we can get more people golfing or whatever, I don't care.
I will check this out. Okay, so this is gonna sound really funny. But I wonder if this is finally how I get my brother.
No. This is like,
he's a big golf boy.
Honestly, all right, so actually I have a couple friends who are all like big history buffs, and apparently Girls und Panzer is enough that all of these guys who hate anime but love World War II will watch anime because it's just all about girls who are tanks.
My fucking god. Well,
like,
see,
I used to make a joke. Tyler, you remember the Gun Girls?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was about to cite. It's like, yo, I love anime and guns, but that show, no, man, no.
See,
I don't think it's.
The problem is you're already in. It's perfect for the people who
aren't in. Fuck no. You cannot tell me.
Hold on. None of these shows are as egregious as what's that show? Utopia? Upote? I forget what it is. But none of them as egregious as, oh no, my hammer's gonna go off, bang. Like that was like the far extreme of what these shows will do. This is not gonna be that extreme. If anything, it's just gonna be like I'm explaining what a birdie is for 2 episodes.
Like I think like maybe cringy middle school, high school Tyler, who is also still into guns, like would be about it. Like almost 30-year-old Tyler though, absolutely not. No way, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, that being said, like, I don't know. I've watched High School DxD, so
yeah,
well,
get on
that's to its natural extreme.
Yeah, like I don't know if I can like really say for sure that like, you know,
you're above
this.
Either way, this is not the show I'm talking about is not expected to be lewd. That said, I'm concerned about the quality just because the studio is not like known for pushing anything too strong quite yet. So this may be a nothing burger, but I am excited to see if they can pull it off.
If nothing else, it brought us this amazing conversation.
Yes. Any opportunity to talk about the fucking Gun Girl anime. Anyway, moving on. Barely anime news, but more important for the U.S. markets. Sentai Filmworks, the last like big Blu-ray releaser outside of Funimation, just confirmed all the shows that are getting Blu-ray releases for Q4 of this year and for like the first couple weeks in Q1 of next year. Among those were stuff like My Next Life as a Villainous, All Routes Lead to Doom Season 1 is coming on Blu-ray with the English dub. They confirmed that Food Wars, despite having shittier final seasons, is getting the like premium editions for the final seasons as well. And then the interesting one I saw was that Kakigurui, a Netflix anime, is getting a Blu-ray release. And I was like, no way.
Oh, wow.
And then I looked it up. Netflix wouldn't give them rights to the dub, so they had to redub it.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Funimation wouldn't. They sold them distribution rights, but not to the dub. So they had to redub it.
Whoa.
Just so fucking dumb. Like Netflix is like, no, we won't even sell you the dub.
How is this industry such a pile of garbage? Like,
because Netflix is just swinging their dicks around and thinking it's okay. That's it. This is pretty common. Like
how is this the world we live in?
I'm trying to remember what the name. I think it was Guinean, whichever one originally released Evangelion. Back when they were like going bankrupt and selling off their shit. Sometimes they would sell the dub, sometimes they wouldn't. And Funimation made a big deal about like how much they had to pay extra to get the original dubs that were usually pretty shitty in quality, but they'd still do it anyway because fans were whining about it. that said, like I watched Kakegurui dubbed. I thought I had a really good dub. I'm gonna, miss not hearing the main character sound the way she does. But either way, just another example of Netflix being Netflix.
Just to confirm, Kakegurui is the gambling one, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one that I thought really, really fucking lost it in season 2.
Yes.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
I actually haven't watched season 2 yet, but after
Oh, wait,
hearing
you
what
haven't?
I didn't. So I was. The problem is my other friend group has gotten bad at getting together to watch anime, so much so that it straight up just doesn't happen anymore. So I've been debating
told
on
us this
something on my
before.
own, but then after hearing what Tim said about it, I'm hesitant to even bother investing more time into
I mean,
it.
look,
I'm like, eh.
no, Freeman, just watch it, but like, I'll just say, if you get into the season and you're like, this is too much, don't expect it to get better.
Gotcha.
If you like what it does, more power to you. Then keep going. I mean, there's season 3 coming, so clearly some people love it.
Oh fuck! There's a season 3. Are you?
Didn't we talk about this a few podcasts ago that they announced season 3? Or I thought I remember seeing it. Maybe we didn't talk about it on here.
Let me see.
But either way, season 3 is coming.
Season 3.
um,
I'm probably not gonna watch it, honestly.
I'm not, but
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything about a season 3.
really? I thought I could have sworn we saw it was an official announcement.
Given that the first link when you search for Kakegurui season 3 is a CBR article saying, "Will there ever be a season 3?"
I thought I remember seeing
From-
on our anime.
from 4 days ago.
Huh. Maybe they updated that article and now it's I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever.
Either way,
Yeah.
it wasn't a high priority, and there's too much other shit I'm behind on. So
Totally.
we'll see if I ever get to it. Anyway, and then real quick, we got two announcements in a row of new seasons. Well, all right, one's an announcement, one's a reconfirmation. Please stop bullying me, Miss Nagatoro. A show that Luigi and I love that convinced a lot of people not to watch it because the first episode is way too much bullying in it. Point is, they announced a second season. Luigi and I are beyond excited. You should have seen our group chat. We're just like literally just spamming reaction
The
pictures.
group
from the
chat
show.
of you and him.
Oh, sorry, not group chat. I guess it's just a one-on-one.
I was about to
chat.
say, I was like,
Yeah.
wait.
It's just a group of 2.
Hey man,
Yeah, we have to keep this shit away from the group. As much as I want everyone to watch this show is not for everyone, but oh boy, is this show for me and Luigi. So very excited for season 2.
Would you call yourselves the trash connoisseurs of the group?
This show isn't trash though. This is
You have
legitimately
literally both
good.
called it trash before.
We called Nagatoro trash.
You guys have
Nah,
okay, let me
you
put it
did
this way.
call the show trash.
Yeah.
No.
But most of the
Yes.
shows the two of you watch, you guys have openly called trash to everybody else.
Well, hold up. I don't like this reputation we're getting because, like, right now Luigi and I are talking
You've
about.
said
Right
it.
now we're talking about like Luigi and I. The show we're watching at the same time right now, I think, is just Jobless Reincarnation, and I don't like that.
That
anytime
show's
there's a-
trash.
Stop that! It's not. It's not trash. It's so well animated, and the soundtrack is phenomenal.
Fine, the production quality is fine. Doesn't
The main
mean the
character's a
writing
piece
isn't
of shit.
garbage.
Wow.
The writing's garbage, bro. I can't. I'm sorry. I
Jeez.
can't stand this main character. He's ass. At least you know what? All right, I'll retract it. Because
Why?
you know why? I didn't watch a lot of the show. I watched like what, the first 2 episodes.
Right, passing judgment after only a single.
Oh wait,
episode.
but you also told me at the beginning of this second season, you said, "Hey, maybe there's gonna be some redemption. Maybe he's not gonna be a piece of shit." And turned out he's still a piece of shit.
It's funny because we had this conversation 2 weeks ago when only episode 1 was out. Now we're up to episode 4, and it took a hard right, and it's back to being good again.
Oh my
That's all I'm
God.
gonna
See,
say.
like,
The problem
it's
is,
This show
shouldn't
like
take that
this show
long.
has
you're
special
right. Well, it's
problems.
not that it's taking that long; it's that it's swerving a lot. It'll be very serious, and then suddenly there's a whole episode where it's like, ah, damn, there's an orgy happening, and it's like, I didn't need that. Like, go back to the fantasy adventuring shit, and then they do, and suddenly just metal as fuck, and it's cool, and then suddenly Rudy's just like, hey man, I'm gonna go look at that girl's panties, and it's just like we don't need to derail the plot for this. Like, this isn't funny. Stop doing this. And it's starting to feel a lot like it's never going to change. Regardless, despite how shitty the main character is, the production quality for the show is insane. I would not call this trash. I would just call it problematic. As the word I would use for the
worse.
show.
That sounds so much worse.
It's still a quality show though. It has its problems.
Yeah, a lot of fucking problems.
Anyway,
Freeman,
onto
the
a show
phrase,
that
it's
doesn't
not
have.
trash, but it's problematic.
It's not trash though. Like trash has a very specific meaning.
Fine. It's
Like,
not good. How's
Rent a
that?
Girlfriend was trash. I love that show, but it's trash. You can't defend that.
You can't.
Jobless Reincarnation, though. Except for the main character who you can't defend. Everything else in the show you can defend. Not trash. Just
Except for
problematic
the main
main
character
character.
who's in every
Totally
single
fine with an asshole main character. Like I followed Kratos for a lot of games, but like, man, I just can't. Like he's just an whatever.
What if I told you that middle school Tyler, who likes high school DxD, would have loved this guy?
Oh my god.
No, middle school Tyler would not have liked this. I think. I like high school DxD. This is gonna be fucked up, but like I think the writing's okay. It's not good by any
Like
means.
after
but I like
season one,
it.
the writing's a lot better. But I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
That'd be like, and I acknowledge that it's like paper thin as fuck too. Like, I just like it. That's okay.
Anyway, speaking of a show that's neither trash nor problematic,
Oh wow. This is
Kaguya-sama: Love Is War had its season 3 announced, I think, last year. But 2 weeks ago, to promote that they had, I think they decided on release. Yeah, I wrote it down in the show notes. I should just read what I have here. They confirmed that it will air April of next year. But to commemorate it, they adapted a special chapter of the manga that came out when season 1 had its anime announced. And the whole point of the chapter was just this meta joke about the characters being aware that they were getting an anime. So to celebrate season 3, they just repurposed that chapter to be about season 3 and just animated the whole thing as the promotional trailer. So, fun little thing. I think it's subtitled on YouTube now, so you can go watch that. You don't have to sail too far to get it. But looking forward to that. And then for the last thing on the Weeb shit, I wanted to talk about this on the recording, even though Tyler and I basically screamed at each other about it the other night. But Netflix released it's not even a trailer, it's like a promotional video to show what the Cowboy Bebop live action adaptation will look and sound like. And it's something.
loves this shit.
Yep, I loved every millisecond of it.
So I'll say I enjoyed it, but I didn't like. I enjoyed it as its own thing. It definitely felt like they tried to capture the appearance of Cowboy Bebop, but they're just like, forget this tone. Let's just be Scott Pilgrim.
And that's where my problem lies with it. Like where you are ending on that is where I begin with the problem. Because it's not like Scott, I feel like the tone worked with Scott Pilgrim because that's what I agree with you, because I was like, there's some like on about this whole thing that they have going on, like this pacing that I'm just not about, and I can't put my finger on. And when you said Scott Pilgrim, I'm like, this is exactly what it feels like, and this is not how it's supposed to be.
It says like the really fast, snappy editing, the overabundance of special effects tying directly into what's going on screen.
Yeah, like Scott Pilgrim and like Edgar Wright's like directing like purposely loans itself to that style, and I feel like they're trying to be like a kind of Edgar Wright thing while trying to be Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work for me.
I'm at the point where, especially like, I want to say I was delusional going into Death Note, thinking they could pull it off when they did the live action. And I was like, all right, they can do two things. Either they can try to be like the original and fail, or they can do their own thing and succeed. Let's see if they do that. And they did their own thing and failed miserably. So coming back to Bebop, the question was, is it going to be different enough that it's good as its own thing, or is it going to like actually pull off being literally just live action Bebop? And they went this weird route where it looks like Bebop, but it doesn't feel like it. And I'm curious if they can pull off whatever they're trying to do. I'm kind of done expecting it to be the same as what it's adapting, but like it needs to stand on its own. If it's only good because it's Bebop, then it's whatever. Like this needs to be a good show, regardless of how close it is to the original.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to give it as much of an unbiased, even though it's gonna be hard. Like I know I'm gonna go into it with like a lot of bias, but I'm going to try my best. But it's gonna be hard to watch this objectively.
I feel I'm going with the philosophy, judge it for what it is, not what you think it'll be. Like just purely just watch the show on its own. Try not to compare it to original Bebop is how I'm going to approach it, even though I realize almost no one else is going to watch it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've pretty
no.
much turned off my expectations.
I mean, at this point, I've already paid for it. I'm just here to see what happens.
Also, they gave him the wrong gun, so I'm kind of upset about that.
They did. I thought they gave him the right gun.
I don't think so.
All right,
I
well,
don't
now
know.
I
I
gotta
would. You
look
should
it
go
up.
back and look at it because I don't think it's a Jericho.
I'll say because Jet got his Glock. He got his Glock 17, and Faye got her whatever. I don't know. I want to rewatch it.
I mean, regardless, I'm gonna turn off my expectations and just see what it is as a show, and not try and pretend like this is going to be anything like the anime because it won't be.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm skeptical, but things have surprised me in the past. I mean, like I like that it got a live action adaptation, and I mean they can be good. Like the Rurouni Kenshin live actions are awesome. Not that was Netflix, but like if they can do it successfully, I think it'll be a solid bet for them to have gone with this.
Yeah. I know they gave Jet a revolver. They gave him like a chop a rhino kind of thing. It's alright. Vicious has his sword though, and they're playing the fucking song. Like
Yeah.
they're just throwing that song in there. Like I know what they were trying to do. It just doesn't work though. They're like, yo,
True.
we're just gonna trigger Spike's PTSD, which, yeah, happens a lot. But like, I don't know. We'll see.
As long as they can do that plot device correctly, considering that's like the only plot in Bebop.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, we're dragging this on too long. That's it for the Weeb shit.
Wait, what else
Let's
is going
go-
to drag on? Because all we have left is the watched and played. Insert sound effect here.
Wow. Anyway, so Tyler, we've been waiting to talk about it, but both of us have finished Squid Game since the last time we spoke on the podcast.
Squiddy.
Yes.
So first and foremost, I need to finally reveal to you the internal nickname my other watch group had for the old man.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
So in that group, I have one of my friends who straight up cannot remember any Korean names. So for the old guy, he's like, what? He just keeps calling the old guy. I'm like, oh, you mean number one? And then it occurred to me, everyone in this group is huge SpongeBob fans. So I started calling him Schmitty in reference to Schmitty Werben Yankee because he was number one, just like this guy who on his jacket was number one. So I called him Schmitty for the entire show.
I'm down for that. I'm down to call him Schmitty. Hell yeah.
This is a good name.
Anyway, so Schmitty aside, what did you think of Squid Game?
Overall, I thought it was good. I think it was a little generic for what it was, but I think the production value was good. And contrary to what Tim's dad believes, I thought the talent was pretty good.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, I don't know what he was
What?
talking about. with the
Acting.
acting.
What?
Oh, your dad thought the acting was trash.
What? Really?
Legitimately, yeah. He said it wasn't good at all.
I-
When I thought
I
the
don't know.
opposite, I actually thought they were very convincing performances.
I would argue the only character I felt like they were acting weak was the girl from North Korea, but it's kind of like justified by her character that she's not like as animated as everyone else in the show, at least.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Overall, my take is that this was very enjoyable, but I think it got way too overhyped. Like going into it, I sat there, I'm like, all right, if everyone's flipping out about it, like it can't be like the second coming of sliced bread here. Like something's up. This must be like Normie's first battle royale here is what's happening.
You know what I'll say? I would say that this is, I mean, you guys can fight me on this, which is fine. This is how I feel. I feel like this is the Among Us of TV right now. Like, it's like it blew up for no reason. And it's completely like, it's just above average, maybe even considered mediocre. But that's it. But everybody loves it for like almost no reason.
I think
'Cause,
you're kind of right. I mean, there is always just going to be that mainstream thing. Look at Tiger King.
Yes, that's the perfect
Fucking
example.
Tiger King.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what the
still
fuck?
haven't seen
Well, no,
Tiger
Tiger King.
God.
No, see, here's the thing. Tiger King was so fucking out there, though, compared to like a lot.
Is
Like
it?
the last thing, no, because the last thing people got before that was the Fire Festival stuff, I would say. And then it's like, okay, what's the next crazy thing? Like that was like almost the next craziest thing after that. And it happened right around COVID, so like people were
There's
watching
nothing
it
else
at
to
home
do.
and they're like, "Yo, check out this crazy fucking weirdo who like, breeds tiger or like, raises tigers." When it turns out there's there's two others, and it like that was a flash in the pan. I was saying, so there's another show I was talking about listeners with these guys on Sunday. There's also a show on that's a Netflix exclusive that was a manga adaptation called Alice in Borderland. It
Oh,
is.
real quick, they're also selling the Blu-ray
Yeah.
for that too.
Oh,
I forgot,
really?
I saw that on the list.
Oh, okay. It's essentially kind of like a battle royale. Um, the intentions, I mean, as far as the first season goes, aren't fully revealed ish. Only speculation. Um, but I mean, I thought it was pretty solid. I heard like it got like just above like, mediocre reviews. No one else I know has seen it. So I'm like, okay, but then I was watching Squid Game and I was thinking to myself like, well, this is like kind of like bigger production value just slightly, but I'm like I feel like this is the same caliber show, but it just got more popular because of like memes. I think the memes did it though. I think
Meme
the
potential
memes
definitely
were
impacts how well a show spreads. And the fact that like there
yeah.
were so many memes in just the first episode means you could make memes that aren't spoilery.
Squid Game also has a very unique aesthetic that I think a lot of people latched onto.
I think so much of it was everyone saw the
You mean
masks with the
Korean?
shapes and everyone's just like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
going
but
on in
like
this
even
show?
like not Korean, just like the overall vibe of like
The color scheme,
yeah, the
Yeah,
color scheme is
Koreans.
weird,
everything
like the
pops.
shots are weird. I don't know, man.
All
I've
right.
seen other Korean shit that is not like that.
Oh, I thought Parasite was framed very similarly.
I didn't see Parasite.
All right, so all
Yes,
right,
yes.
no, all right, for
Parasite's whole
everybody.
real quick. Parasite's breakdown of like the this is how the poor live aspect. Like it was very similar to Squid Game. I'll agree with you on
Yeah,
that.
similar message, everything like the way like their cinematography is, you could definitely tell like they have a style all of their own and like as a source, like I've been trying to watch a little bit more Korean films over the years. Other really good ones I highly recommend to actually everybody here. I Saw the Devil, really good, came out in 2010. It's like a horror that turns into a thriller. Um which is interesting because like Parasite also does a very has everybody's seen it here, right?
Parasite? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
How
I haven't seen Parasite.
Oh damn.
okay. It
I'm
like
probably not going to ever watch it, so feel free to talk about
Oh
whatever you
damn.
want.
It's a good
this
movie. You should watch it.
it is so funny thing. I think it's a good movie objectively. I do not like it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it for like my own personal things. Like I like it's like okay, the story to me is like whatever. I'm not a fan of all of the characters. It's not like you're supposed to anyway.
So
So I'm just like
I actually agree with you. It's the same reason I can't watch horror movies. I don't like watching movies where the main character just makes the objectively wrong decision all the time. And a lot of Parasite is just about making shitty decisions. So I
yeah.
hate watching movies where I just straight up do not resonate with what the main characters do at all.
That I can agree with.
Which is why I fucking hate horror movies.
Same.
Which is funny, right? Because all of the people that are in this movie, so it's like the people who are like the message is interesting, right? Like, I mean, I could go on about it. Like I feel like I can discuss this movie in great length because of its quality, but it just comes down to like I just don't like it, and that's just a preference thing.
Hmm.
But down to the cinematography and like the messages, you'll see some similarities. What's some other ones? Oh my god, what's that one movie? The Wailing. I watched that a couple times, but also a horror movie. Um, but like I mostly like it for its like I like other horror movies. Basically, it's like sense of unease. That's what I like most about it. But like, they're all like shot very similarly in terms of like their quality, and it's good. It's really good. I don't know. I would recommend those.
All right, you said you were watching The Wailing, and all I could think of is like, he's watching some gotcha gaming streamers on Twitch.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! It's literally a zombie movie
Are there actually
or
any whales
something.
involved?
God damn it! Yeah, fucking Captain Ahab comes to Korea. Fucking
Zombie Moby Dick. It sounds like an
zombie.
amazing movie.
Yeah, man.
All right.
What's the next thing on the list? We all watch
Oh,
Komi-san.
Komi-san can't communicate. Oh boy. Do you guys want
This
to talk
is
about what you
better.
thought first before I talk about the controversy?
I'll say this is better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I
I'll
didn't. I
agree.
honestly went into this thinking I wasn't going to like it at all.
What'd you think it was going to be? Genuinely
Um,
curious.
so it's gonna be odd how I put it because I thought it was going to be exactly what you were talking about, how this chick can only write, and I'm like, well, this is gonna be boring. I don't want to see that. Like how are they gonna like convey an interesting plot line like this? And then it's like, oh, they're just gonna make it funny. They're just gonna make her really fucking awkward. And I just like I'm a sucker for that
Like that
because
meme I sent
because I
earlier.
watch Kaguya-sama, right? And Kaguya does like not like super similar things, but like in
She gets
season
into similar
one,
situations.
she gets in a similar situation where she's like, "Yo, look at me, I'm a bad bitch." But it's like whenever I see oh my god,
President
what's his name? Yeah,
Shirogane.
yeah. Every time I see Shirogane, like I'm literally just gonna be a fucking idiot, and like it's hilarious. Like it's just funny, and it's not like Comey is a bad bitch or anything. Like everybody thinks like, oh yo, she a bad bitch. Like yo, she's a cold fucking bitch. Like yo, she's
Everyone is
so
a
hot.
bad
When
bitch for
when
her. That's
when
so
like
funny.
and then like she's just like staring off into space because she literally cannot socially deal with these people. Not because she hates them. On the contrary, she wants to be friends with all of them, but she can't like do it because she's got shit going on. And I'm like, okay, I'll take this.
As someone who read the manga, all I can say is they 100% nailed the aesthetic they needed for this. It feels like, especially I think it was in episode 2 where they go for coffee. It feels like they just straight up redrew the chapter. It was so good. As a reader, I'm very happy with the adaptation.
As the one master barista here.
That was hilarious. That was a good scene. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I know exactly what the order that she wants. Oh god.
Anyway, but for the bad news related to this release, so everyone else here already knows it because they got to hear me bitch in person last Thursday. But after waiting 2 weeks for it to come out of Netflix jail, Netflix is just like, yeah, subtitling words is hard. We're just gonna leave like all this text in a show about a main character who just writes everything. We're just not gonna translate half of it. Meaning you just lose all this meaning. The chalkboard scene lost all meaning because it zooms out with the two of them writing, and we could see there were like 28 different things on the chalkboard that got subtitled in the version we watched. Netflix didn't put a single subtitle up for that whole scene.
That's so.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
How?
Like just losing all the context and what's going on in this pivotal scene at the start of the show.
And you figure like that scene too, like you said, it's so impactful, right?
Yeah.
To like what is going on. Like I feel like if I didn't get at least a few of those things of what was being written,
Worthless.
I wouldn't care about this show. Yeah,
Yep.
it'd be worthless. And it's
It's-
like all that impact, all like I probably wouldn't care about the show as I mean I would, but I'd be like, okay, well I'm definitely missing out on something and like it doesn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's getting to the point where it's annoying that Netflix like we need 2 weeks to ensure quality in all languages, and their quality was just not translating. And then I've seen arguments saying, it's not fair to judge Netflix this harshly. They don't have a player capable of doing subtitles like this. At which point I want to say, then why the fuck are they buying exclusive rights to anime like this? If you don't have a platform for something where you're going to make the shittiest version possible, why are you buying exclusive rights? It just means that you're swinging your dick around and don't actually know what you're doing.
No way. Netflix has never done that.
But they can't do that. They're a fan company. They have to have some semblance of leadership. And anime is just it's better off without Netflix.
I
Just
think you're right.
infuriating.
So far, I think you're right.
Like I get it. They dub in multiple languages. If you're not an English speaker, Netflix is a godsend. But compared to even fan subbers, they are just straight up not doing the job, and they are air quotes professionals.
That's the real.
And these
kick,
fucking
that...
fan subs are doing it for fucking goose eggs.
Yeah. Like the fact that the fan subs got it out so good, so immediately. Like, come on. I'm sure English is the biggest one, but I also bet there are fan subbers for other languages who were chugging away on this right away too.
Thankfully, at least with the subtitle files, you can just kind of like take where they've mapped out the position of subtitles and just retranslate if you want to go from English to another language. Positioning might get wonky with like letters overlapping stuff, but technically with fan subs, you can easily like work off of what someone else has already done. One thing I did want to bring up here, though, with the two fan subgroups we're working on, which is actually down to one, because the subgroup who released like episode 1 first, they weren't the high quality ones, and when they saw what the high quality groups doing, they're like, yeah, fuck it, that group knows what they're doing. Just watch their releases. But like these weren't standing subtitle groups. These were people who were in the fan sub community who were like, hey, I want to put together a team just for subbing this show because Netflix is going to fuck it up.
And lo and behold, that was good prep. Good
yeah,
prep.
It happened. I don't know who they got from. They must have stole someone from Kami Subs to work on this because the typesetting, but like the positioning of all the words, especially with the chalkboard scenes, it was chef's kiss. It was phenomenal.
It was really well done.
Yeah,
it literally felt like it was part of the show to see the English text.
So there's only one other show I've ever felt that way about. It was, unfortunately, I don't know if the subs are available anymore, but when JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was coming out, it wasn't licensed anywhere, so like Crunchyroll didn't have it. So the one subgroup that was translating it, anytime there was like text on screen, like the menacing characters, they would translate the word menacing, typeset it to look just like the JoJo letters, and have it like tremble on screen with it. But this was before most computers had whatever architecture you needed for rendering subtitles like that, so it would just cause everyone to lag whenever menacing happened. And it just brings me back to that. But there was so much quality lost when we moved to professional subs because they don't want these versatile players. Because in order to use a versatile player, it's just easy to copy video off of it. And they need that copy protection. So I get it, but fuck Netflix. I'm still gonna like watch the episode, air quotes, watch the episode once a week, have it play in the background so they get some watch statistics. Yes, you should do weekly releases. But I am going to file a complaint every single week where it's like, hey, you should really be translating more of these scenes. You're losing a lot of the meaning. And knowing that they're not going to read any of that shit.
They're not going to read any of that shit. You know it, I know it.
Gotcha. All right. But regardless, I'm very excited for every new episode of Komi-san. I know 3 is already out. I'm holding off on watching it. I don't know if we're planning to watch it with the group on Thursday.
I mean, I'm down to watch it.
If we're all there, definitely.
I didn't think you were going to hold out, though.
I mean,
I was ready to watch it on my own.
Enough.
I mean, I've been waiting so long. What's another week?
It's up to you.
Whatever.
Unless you wanted to do that Val shit where she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch it on my own," but like I'm gonna make sure that I watch it twice before the end of the season. Like
it's also
Val with Vanitas.
So I used to do that all the time, and then after like season 3 of Hero Academia, when I watched it for the 3rd time in a week, I was like, yeah, I don't like doing this in anime anymore. So I try to limit immediate rewatches while it's airing. So like if there's a chance we were gonna watch it, I was gonna hold off so I don't have to like double watch and ruin my perception of an episode.
Understandable in the extreme.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Either way, if it means I get to watch multiples in one go, I'll take it. Val's a special case. We'll see if this lasts forever, or if she starts to get to that point where she does it for a show that she's really actually not 100% about on the rewatch.
Well, I think the flip side is she only really did it for Vanitas. And that's because Vanitas was literally a show
made for
extracted from her DNA and put on screen, like
extracted from her DNA.
Like it's built for her. I couldn't design a show that well for Val.
All right, I don't want to stretch time out anymore, but I was watching Vanitas again today, and for the 3rd episode in a row, it's another episode where it's like the plot would have been fine if Vanitas just wasn't so fucking smug and caused an incident. Like, this is the 3rd episode in a row where there would not be a conflict if he wasn't just being a smug piece of shit.
Yeah, that's his character.
It's infuriating. Anyway,
It's literally the show. I don't know what else you want.
I want more vampire lore. That's all I'm here for.
I
mean,
feel
that's
like we're
fair.
gonna get it.
I mean, Val went apeshit as she was reading the 4 manga volumes that are out after that. So
I gotta keep reading it.
I didn't have the heart to tell her yesterday that I don't know if I'm gonna watch the second core.
Damn.
finish the first core before you.
I'm going to finish the first core. I just don't know if I'm gonna finish. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the second core when it's airing.
I understand that, but I'm saying like, finish the first season or the first core before you pass any judgment.
I will, but I didn't have the heart to tell her that I wasn't 100% on it when she mentioned, "Oh, don't worry, when you get to core 2," and I was like, "Yeah, we'll see." Anyway, let's move on to something else.
Next year's got plenty of shit to.
Yeah,
I mean,
next
I still
season,
remember, just real quick, I still keep reminding myself, we're still waiting on Vinland Saga Season 2 and Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2 to come out at the beginning of next year. And that's only a few months away.
Very soon. We'll have new Demon Slayer straight into Attack on Titan.
Oh, yeah, and Demon Slayer is going to be new after our Sunday rewatches, Yumi and Val, of the pieces of the movie.
Only one more month of slowly rewatching Mugen Train before we get new material.
Freeman, what was the comment you made, just so Tyler can hear it? Because it was relevant. You were like, "Man, this worked better as a movie."
Yes, it was like these I thought they were gonna add more material so they would cut at different points in the episodes, and it's just like it very clearly feels like this is a cut up movie. Like the episodes don't feel like cohesive episodes.
Damn.
I don't know.
Freeman,
like overall, watching this.
Go ahead, Freeman.
Watching this to week is actually not good. Like I would have preferred if they just said like, "Hey, we are going to just televise the movie this week, and then next week we start the Entertainment District arc." Because this stretching out
7 weeks,
6 weeks is ridiculous.
They're
It's
milking
a
the
lot.
time. Tyler, when we fucking started the episode, less than 5 minutes into the episode, I turned to Freeman and Val and I go, "They're gonna end this episode the second Tanjiro wakes up," and that is exactly when
Oh my
this
God.
episode got out.
Yeah, it's like the opening scene of the next episode is he opens his eyes, not in the dream. Is just how the episode's gonna start.
It was such perfect. I called it down to the scene. It was so funny. But you know what else is funny?
What else is funny?
Show? Oh, what's you?
What's you? So I'm watching you. This was originally on Lifetime. Now it's a Netflix.
Okay, are you a basic bitch now?
No, but all my friends are. This is why they don't want to watch anime anymore. So they were like almost of the 5 of us who would try to sit down and watch anime. 3 of them were caught up on you, and season 3 dropped I think Thursday last week. So there's been this push with our friend, "Hey, like everyone get caught up." I was like, "Well, I'm not watching the show," and then they're like, "You haven't seen it?" And my friend's wife was like, "I haven't seen it either." So me and my friend and his wife have been trying to like marathon it, and we finished season 1 on Saturday. Yes, this show is some normie shit. This feels like this is like Dexter, but it's aimed at New Yorkers. Is the best way I can describe this show.
It's aimed at New York.
I don't get me wrong. I like this show. It's so fucking dumb sometimes. Like, imagine Dexter, but it's just like killing in broad daylight and just never getting fucking caught. Like, it's just so much unrealistic shit. But
it sounds like anime.
It's sort of, but like the one thing I want everyone to take away is you'll find out if you watch episode 1 is I have never seen a creepier main character than the main character of this show. Like, hands down. Dude is straight off like looking into a woman's apartment and jerking off in episode 1, and we're supposed to be like, "Yeah, that guy's our guy." And I'm like, "No, this dude's so fucking
That
creepy."
guy's our guy. Hold up, wait a minute.
That's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Yeah, he's just so fucking weird. Like I kept telling my friend, like, if I wasn't sitting down and watching with you guys, I wouldn't be watching the show because the main character is just so fucking creepy. I hate this show, but it's entertaining and I can't stop watching. They figured out the formula. Like you can tell in season 1, there's a bunch of random cuts in the middle of the episode where it's supposed to be commercial breaks, and every single commercial break is a cliffhanger. I don't know how they did it. But now that they're on Netflix, only each episode ends in a cliffhanger, and they're all fucking massive. So season 2 is enjoyable. I'm trying to catch them that quick so I can watch season 3 with them and be done with this and go back to our superior Japanese cartoons.
Fucking course, it was a Lifetime show before. I'm not shocked.
With the plot on season 1, I'm not shocked either. Show is something else.
We're talking
Anyway,
about pirate princesses now.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
Tim,
Fena.
Tim, lead the
We
story
didn't
on this one.
finish it though.
We did today, or no,
Oh,
yesterday. We
shit.
finished it.
Oh, is it over now?
Yeah, this Sunday was the last episode, and we watched it yesterday. So yeah, Val and I watched Crunchyroll. I think it's their one big show of this past
It was
season.
the Crunchyroll Adult Swim collaboration.
No, I know that, but I'm saying it was like Crunchyroll. It seems like every season has had like one show where they're like, "This is the Crunchyroll original." I don't know. It feels like they've had one.
No, you're right. Because right now they're pushing High Guardian Spice, which I guess like just came out.
Well, regardless, Val and I watched Fena. We were looking for something new to watch, and oh yeah, what it was Mother's Basement had done his Redux video where he went over 3 shows that came out like weirdly halfway through the last season. Because this is one of the 3 shows that like launched a month late into the season, which was weird. But we sat down and watched Fena, and we watched like 1 or 2. We thought it was cool, and then we watched like the 5 in the middle, and so I'll just preface this by saying I gave it an 8 out of 10 on my anime list. The show is gorgeous. It has great music, and the setting is really cool in that it's like it's one of those like low magic settings, because you watch episode 1 and you go, oh, there's some kind of weird shit going on here. There's some Destiny magic shit. So but it's not like people throw spells around. It's just there is an overarching. It's kind of one of those shows, you know how like there's shows where like religion is real kind of thing. Does that phrase make sense to anybody?
Sort of.
Like,
Where like it's not the center point of the show, but it's happening.
There is like a god thing going on where she has like past memories and all this stuff, and like that stuff is all there, but it's also not like it's sword fighting and shit. And Val disagrees. I wish this had like an 18 episode run, because they kind of start emotionally acting like you're really, really tied to this cast of characters, and they're all good characters, but there's really no big surprises in what anyone's archetypes are and how anyone reacts to any situation. Like, this isn't a show where you go in and you're like, ooh, the character beats will be weird. And there's not a ton of action, but I will say I appreciate that this was it was definitely more adult. I mean, it's funny because it's Adult Swim, but it's more adult than a lot of anime. They show blood. They show people getting cut in half. They show one of the few action scenes that they, like, not even a scene, a shot that they flexed on was fucking wild out of the show. I was floored that they actually did this one thing. That was a twist. But I was a little disappointed by the ending. I felt like the ending wasn't super earned and seemed kind of weird, but Val actually disagreed. So like I said, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. But like I said, and also at the end of the day, I gave it an 8. It is a gorgeous show from Production IG over here. That it really looks good. It sounds good. And the action is good. Everyone does a good job voice acting. There's no standout losers. But yeah, overall, it's just a really solid show that I would recommend to anybody who wants kind of a high seas adventure kind of thing. There's not a ton of high sea-ness to it. Again, I feel like if there was more runtime, they might have done a little more with the whole, because it's very much like, I just want to go on the high seas with my friends and do adventures and stuff, but they really fast track the main quest, and there's really not a lot of diverting from that. So you don't really get the sense that they're this like the title Fena Pirate Princess is a little misleading. I'll say that. Like, they are kind of a pirate mercenary crew, but they're not.
It's not like One Piece where they're.
It's not.
Okay,
like
well, actually, One Piece they're not
is
even actual pirates, but
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
not even actual pirates. They're like good guys.
But they're not. They're not pretending to be pirates. She meets up with friends who are mercenaries, but they're
because they're seabound, they're loosely pirates, but they're not really.
Exactly.
Why the
but
fuck
you
would
wouldn't
call
call
it
them pirates.
Pirate Princess then?
To get all the Pirates of the Caribbean fans to watch this anime. Marketing.
But at the end of the day, like I said, it is still a good show, and Val and I had a lot of fun blasting through it. So I would definitely still recommend it. Absolutely.
What did you give it out of 10?
Am I crazy or did I say this twice already during this
Did
discussion?
you? Sorry, if I didn't know when you said it was an okay show. I'm like, what does okay mean?
No, I started. Didn't I start off by saying, "Am I crazy?" Tyler, Aiden, did I
That
not
you
say
love
it?
it.
What?
That you liked it.
I thought I specifically at the beginning said what my score was. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Gotcha.
I missed the 8 out of 10 part.
Wow, I thought I said that twice.
Same.
Okay, I
I also missed
apologize.
that.
Wow, I
You
apologize.
probably did.
Um,
I'm just
but-
bad.
no, it's okay if I didn't say it. I apologize, but I still gave it an 8 out of 10. But to me, that's mostly because of everything around the show. The story's still fun, and there's a lot of cool moments, and there is some really fantastic animation. Like, actually, I don't really want to give spoilers away because I just realized that those two scenes are kind of spoilers. There's one scene, if you guys said you never wanted to watch the show, I would want to show you guys the one scene I'm talking about. But yeah, overall, if you're looking for something that is kind of this medieval but also like piratey time, it's kind of real world. It sounds like this is almost a real thing in the Caribbean. They kind of go out of their way to make it sound like this could have almost happened. Even as I say, there's like that whole magic sub element a little bit, but they do go out of their way to be like, yeah, we're talking about the British Empire and stuff like that. So yeah, Fenna's pretty good if you want to watch and it's very self-contained. There is definitely not going to be another season, which is again another reason I kind of wish they had taken their time a little more. But if you're looking for if you're in the mood for a nice self-contained show like that, I would definitely recommend Fenna.
Also, looks like Adult Swim is going to be marathoning the entire season 1 on the night before Halloween.
That's a weird pick, but okay.
Yeah, Saturday. They're going to just do all of season 1 instead of airing any other show.
Weird flex, but okay.
It's seriously
Well,
strange.
it just finished airing, so they're probably just doing a big
Oh, sure, a big
celebration
sum
of
up,
how
but
much
it's
money they
just
spent on it.
surprising. But I mean, if this is what Adult Swim and Crunchyroll do together, I'd definitely watch another show that like they collaborated on to some extent, for sure. But anyway, that's Fenna. Oh shit! And I put the other thing on here. My bad. Fuck. I also Val's sister Renee has been bugging me and Val for a while, and we finally sat down and watched Luca, Pixar's latest animated movie.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was actually pretty good and fun. It's not going to set the world on fire, but it's just another solid standalone Pixar movie with a good message for kids.
What about the art style?
Oh, I think
Did you like it? Dislike
it's great.
it?
I think the way the kids transform and all that stuff looks incredible. Pixar it's incredible how they keep managing to make things look better. But yeah, it looks great. It's a good story for kids. I will say, coming off of Soul, and this isn't a surprise, I don't think, knowing what Soul is definitely a more adult-oriented movie than Luca is. Luca has a much simpler message. It's the kind of like, ooh, look at this big stereotypical villain. It's the kid just wants to get out of the house and see what the world has to offer, and there's even a lot of
Wouldn't you say he wants to be where the people are?
yes, but not in music form.
Okay.
Although there was one shot where there's a character who like angrily turns away from another character and walks up to a ledge, and I was like, if this was a musical, this is where one of the songs would fucking start right now. This is also a movie where the kid is like, I want to go to school. What's school like? School sounds great. I want to learn.
Gross. Fucking gross.
But no, it's good. It's fun. It looks great, and I think I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd actually, and thumbs it up, because for kids, like this is a movie when I have kids. So this is a movie I would show kids at a young age, just for pretty fun, good message, pretty simple, not any massive conflict.
Classic Pixar.
Yeah, it's very classic Pixar. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm done. Oh, let's talk about a Donkey's new video, I guess.
Oh, I still watched
God.
it.
So, I bought the director's cut of Death Stranding.
Can I ask a
And I
question
have
before
been-
you
Wait,
describe
the
this?
Hideo Kojima production.
The Hideo Kojima production, Death Stranding. Yes, the
So-
very same.
So, as a question, is the director's edition like just the PC release,
No, the director's cut is exclusive to PS5.
and there's more content?
Yeah, there's more content, there's additional items, the pacing is different, there's new areas.
Okay, I just
Definitive
wanted to make
edition.
sure it wasn't a director's edition and they give you like a DLC item or something, or there's new graphics or something.
Yeah, no, it actually. So here's what this kind of all comes from, the little story I'm about to tell.
Oh boy. Story time.
I bought the original Death Stranding when it on release, like what, 2.5 years ago now.
Jeez.
No way. It's been 2.5 years I've been sitting on this game.
Yeah, it was 2019, right?
Oh my
It's been
2019 was the
God,
Yeah,
when
we
Death
looked it
Stranding
up
came out.
yesterday.
been like
Yeah.
2 years.
And I made it to, I don't know, I want to say about halfway through Act 2, and I just fell off of it. I was like, this is cool. There's like some unique ideas here, but something just feels off. Like I don't know if I'm really having fun with it. I wasn't having a bad time, but I wasn't having a good time either. And if you watched Donkey's new video about Death Stranding, I kind of feel the same way about it that he does, in that it's like, it's still what Death Stranding was originally, but I'm having fun now. Like it's such a, and like the story is still fucking Hideo Kojima crazy. Like they didn't really, as far as I'm aware, they didn't really tweak too much of like the story beats or any of the cutscenes and stuff. But like, it's on the PS5, and with the changes that they made, it feels like a good game to play. Like it is engaging with the dual shot, with the resistive the adaptive triggers, whatever the fuck they call them.
Oh, they actually use it properly?
Yeah, so like there's a mechanic in Death Stranding that you basically run into immediately, and that's your balance. So if you feel like your cargo shifts from left to right or whatever, and you have to counter it with the trigger, depending on how far, depending on how much weight is on your back, the trigger is like harder to press.
Wow.
You get very
cool.
real feedback when you're interacting with the world that you just didn't really get on the PS4. Like honestly, I think a lot of my enjoyment from it, weirdly enough, came from the controller.
Wow.
Because like the haptics, like when you're running through grass, you can feel like the soft like thud of his feet in the grass through the controller, and it feels different when you're running on rocks or if he stumbles on something. Like they did a superb job of conveying it to the controller, which made me instantly feel way more attached to the game. Like especially like with the mechanics that are actually presented in it. Like Death Stranding, we're not going to mince words, is a game about fucking walking. It is literally the walking simulator.
Amazon delivery simulator is what we called it for so long.
Exactly what it is, but feeling it like it changes your perception of the game. That's the best way I can really describe it.
Wow.
And honestly, I can say, as fucking off the wall as like all of Hideo Kojima's shit is, and especially with recent events, I feel like the game's story is like, it's kind of exactly what I needed right now, weirdly enough. And it felt good. Like it was solid all around as far as I'm concerned. Like there's shit you're not gonna, that's just comes out of left field and is crazy, but it's Hideo Kojima. Like we're used to it. Like if you've ever tried to follow Metal Gear, like you know what you're getting into.
Another donkey reference to a video. His Metal Gear video. Fucking hilarious.
But yeah, if you have a PS5, I would recommend playing this game only on the PS5 with a director's cut. I honestly don't think you should even bother playing it on PS4. Like,
What about PC?
nope.
Okay.
Nope. Play it on PS5. It is the
Wait, so-
way. Honestly, this game shouldn't even have come out for PS4. They should have just made it for PS5.
Wow, that's strong.
Wait, so the director's cut that has like the PS5 adaptive controls, or not adaptive controls, just the support for the PS5 controller, that's exclusive to the PS5. Like the ability
Yes.
to do that stuff with the controller is not available on PC.
Correct.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, but like, you know, with feeling it, I felt it and I get it. Like that's some technology
You really
that they.
Spider-Man?
I felt like Spider-Man, dude. You know, when you're taking a piss on somebody else's mushrooms, like you feel it. You feel the stream weaken as you get further into it, man. You feel it in your triggers.
Wow. That's fucking weird.
I'm dying to experience this. I need to track down a PS5.
It like honestly, and again, I can't restate this enough. If you didn't, if you just have a fundamental problem with what Death Stranding is as a game, you're still not gonna like the director's cut. But if you were like kind of on board with the original on PS4 and like you just kind of didn't like it, and you have a PS5, I would give it a shot because it was a world of difference for me. Like in how I felt playing the game.
Nice.
But and also in true Hideo Kojima fashion, I watched the end credits roll, and then I had to sit through a fucking 2-hour long movie and then watched another set of credits.
Yeah,
In case you haven't played, it is still Hideo Kojima. We all know what that entails. So that was my big adventure over the last like couple weeks, and other than that, the one thing that kind of stuck out to me lately was actually Riders Republic from Ubisoft, which has a free trial up until I think the 28th is the last day, or the 27th. Tomorrow's the last day of the free trial. And it is legitimately like just a fun, solid, like extreme sports game. Like when you're I kind of feel it's very akin to like something like SSX or some shit like that. It reminded me a lot of like old games.
That's a
like
name I've not heard.
Yeah. And like it's super arcadey, so it doesn't feel like overly complicated to play or anything like that. And just like the variety of things that you can do are pretty entertaining. Like, and all of these, they have all of these like mass races where you just get thrown into a multi-sport race with like 30 other people, and it's just downhill shenanigans the entire way. It's great. And it is something that I think people should keep on their radar. I had a really good time with it. It's not something I'm gonna play like consistently, but this is definitely gonna be one of those games that I keep coming back to, like to blow off some steam and just play something casual.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna.
But yeah, that's it.
Sick.
All right.
Oh, Tyler, you saw this, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen
saw
it all
what?
right. Halloween Kills.
God, that theme's still. All right, I don't want to derail us. We're going too long, but like when I
Because
worked
John
at...
Carpenter does nothing. Just kidding. I was about to say he does nothing but make bangers, but that's a lie. That's a fucking lie. Because Escape to L.A. was trash.
Damn.
Or Escape
Ouch.
from L.A. was trash. So I saw Halloween Kills recently, which is the sequel to the 2018 Halloween movie, which is the sequel to the original
You
Halloween
explained
movie.
this to me on Sunday, and I couldn't stop laughing. It's the dumbest shit ever.
Oh yeah, it's dumb. It's super dumb. For the uninitiated, this Halloween, or 2018 Halloween, direct sequel to the first one. don't. You can ask me in the comments, but you're better off just looking it up. I'm not gonna explain it. It's stupid.
You
This
could ask me in the
movie,
comments, but you might as well not because it's stupid.
it's stupid. Just you know what? Yeah, just go ahead and don't ask me. All right, just don't
Go
ask
ahead
me.
and don't at me with that.
Don't at me. Don't ask me. I tried explaining the lore. Everybody got disinterested and started to ignore me.
Wow.
So it's true. Like I got to like what part did I get to? I like was getting to the part where it's like, oh yeah, like Jamie Lee Curtis really isn't his sister, but kind of, and then that's where everybody started falling off. I'm like, okay, that's okay.
Well, yeah, because you can't hear that sentence and be like, "This is good."
Yeah, I know. No one watches these things for the fucking plot though, so
True.
like,
Except for the hardcore fans for some reason.
even the hardcore fans are saying like this isn't even that great. Like, all right, I thought the only reason why I watched this, so I don't really watch slasher films because I always think they're boring. Uh, but 2018 Halloween, I wasn't dragged to see it. A friend wanted me to go see it with her, and I was like, you know what? Fine, sure, I'll see it. It was mostly out of pity because like no one else would go see it with her. I'm like, fine, I'll go.
Damn.
I went and I'm like, you know what? This movie's actually not bad. Like there was some good scenes in it. The music was good. Um, and a few other things. The ending was kind of lame, but like it was fine. But I liked it enough for me to want to watch Halloween Kills. And I was like, I watched it and I was like, oh, this movie's just okay. Um, I will say though, it hit with like the soundtrack is amazing. Like, obviously they took a lot of inspiration from John Carpenter's stuff, but like, the soundtrack's really good. The cinematography, if this movie was made in like the early 80s, 70s, it would have it would have killed it in the box office.
Damn.
Like easily. But like and it was weird. The last thing I'll say about it is it shoots itself in the foot with its plot because at one point it tries to sell the movie as um oh it's not that deep, fam. Don't think too hard into Michael Myers. He's just a killing machine. Then the next thing you hear is like, you know, the mob, like a human mob, right? Like gets together and like tries to kill this innocent guy because they think he's Michael Myers. And then it's
Wow.
just like we're the monsters the whole time. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You can't sit here and tell me that this shit is not deep and then tell me that it's deep. Like, no.
Can't have it both ways, movie.
Can't have it 4 ways. 5 ways. Both ways. All
What?
ways. I don't know.
Anyways,
Talk about also subverting some expectations. Uh Me and the boys it was just me and Freeman and Tim here.
so you mean everyone but Aiden?
Everyone but Aiden. We watched this came out this year, the new Nicolas
Pig.
Cage movie, Pig. And no, it is not John Wick. To everybody asked me before leading up. I think even you guys are like,
I mean,
"Oh, it's
that's
just
like
John
2
Wick
minutes into the movie.
with a pig, right?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." And it definitely wasn't.
Nope.
And even people after I watched it, they're like, "So it's just John Wick?" Because like, it's Nicolas Cage. I'm like, "No, it is. It is not." And I would even argue that. All right, so like to pretense, like this is Nicolas Cage is probably like one of the most serious roles,
Yep.
and if not his best role that he's ever been in.
He did a really good job in this
Really
movie.
impressive.
Yeah, and like it sucks because I was watching this movie. I guess it's more of a podcast, but like it's a channel like they talk about um like movies and stuff. I don't know, Tim, you might have heard of them. Maybe Red Letter Media.
I've heard of him. I never watched him.
Yeah, I think they're all right. I watch them because like they're kind of interesting. They're like super biased on things. So like I'm very worried about like their recommendations, and like
Mhm.
they're also like super critical. But like that's like, why I kind of watch them is because they're super critical.
Mm-hmm.
But they both enjoyed Pig, and they were like, yeah, I think a lot of people dodge this movie because it's Nicolas Cage, and he's super ridiculous, and they're expecting some like, you know,
Over
crazy
the
shit
top
out of
weird
him.
Absurd shit, yeah.
Yeah, when in reality it is the opposite. Like
Yep.
you could tell that he put a lot
Very
of
down to
care.
earth, yeah.
Yeah. Needless to say, I enjoyed this movie.
Yes, sir. Can agree.
Yeah.
It's a pretty wild ride, but
Yeah.
it's very what's the word? Not controlled. Does that make any sense?
Yes, I know exactly what you're going for
Okay,
with
thank
this.
you.
I agree.
It's very deliberate. That's the word. That's the movie word is deliberate. It knows exactly what it's going for. It's not going to rush, and it's going to get you there because it knows exactly where it's looking to go.
And it almost plays on kind of like, because like based on his character and stuff, you're like, oh, he's gonna, and like other stuff you've seen, it almost like kind of plays on your expectations with the cinematography, right? It's like, and like the mood, 'cause it's like, oh, he's about to fuck somebody up. Especially like towards the end, he's like, I need everything on this list, and you're like,
Oh shit, it's the
what's
kill
he
list.
about to do? Like, what is going to happen? And it turns out it's a Shokugeki, and I'm like, oh fuck.
You're not
Subverting
wrong.
everyone's expectations. Like, yeah, I'm gonna kill him with this fucking
With
bomb ass
flavor.
food that I fucking prepared for him. Like, it's good. It's good. I enjoy. Anyone who's listening, I highly recommend this movie.
Yep.
It was a labor of love for sure. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Don't sleep on this one.
Yeah, don't just be like, "Oh, Nicolas Cage, he's just a weirdo who does weird things in weird movies."
Yeah, this is the one that I'll say. I would even argue if you're into weird shit, that's like whatever. I would recommend Mandy. Mandy was actually pretty good if you're into weird shit. But like Pig is not weird shit. I went into it thinking it was going to be some weird shit, but it was not. I recommended this to my parents, for them to
Wow.
watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't really recommend a lot of stuff for them because like they're very like narrow when it comes to this, like their stuff. Like my dad is so generic; he'll only watch like generic '80s action movies, or like he'll watch dad movies. Like every time The Equalizer comes on TV, he has it on.
Yeah,
And I'm
The
like,
Equalizer's
wow,
pretty good, man.
it's not. I don't think it is.
What?
There's one scene that's really good in The Equalizer, and that's when he walks into the room and he sets his watch timer. He's like, all right. And he sets it, and then he kicks everybody's ass, and then he's like, okay, I still got it. And I'm like, that scene was pretty cool. The way they set it up, right? Everything else was like, okay, now you're just turning this into a Home Alone movie. I've seen this
Oh
before.
no! Oh.
I'm not wrong. Also, the security guard pissed me off. Like that character
Why?
just annoyed me. Cause like number one, I'm in that profession and just it's a bias where it's like, man, I don't want to be associated with niggas like these. I hate it. I
wanna
absolutely
be
hate
shown to
it.
be like people like this. Wow.
And it's just like, and like the whole thing behind it, like I don't know, I can go on and on about like security guards in movies and how I just hate them. The only one I'm fine with is Observe and Report with Seth Rogen.
I
That
thought you
shit
were
was
gonna say Paul
hilarious.
Blart.
Yeah, I was
No,
Paul Blart as well.
absolutely not.
Freeman and I were going for the same joke.
If I could delete a
Delete a
movie from
movie.
existence, it would be that one.
Look, Freeman. I'm just glad me and Freeman went for literally the same exact joke immediately.
And the thing is, the fucked up part is like, you guys know me. I like almost never see anything out of spite. But that is one of the like I'll even watch something out of like pure like academic value because it's like, okay, I want to see what the deal is. This isn't even my thing, but I'll watch it. Like
Like Pig.
Paul Blart Mall Cop, I will never watch out of pure spite. Pure fucking spite. I will never watch those movies.
I don't know, man. I enjoyed it.
You could say people and people have told me like Tyler, it's actually like a pretty. The first one was a solid movie. I don't care. It could win 5 Academy Awards. I don't give a fuck. I will not watch that movie. Refuse.
Dude, if a movie's got a segue, it's an A in my opinion.
Fuck
5 out of
you.
5.
That's a segue.
It has a segue in it. It's a good movie.
Oh Oh my god.
Actually, fun fact: an observe and report, they drive around the same exact security vehicle that I do.
Really?
Yeah, the same exact one. I was like, holy shit, it's a gem car. This is wild. I was like, now I feel immersed.
Immersion is good. Is complete.
Yeah, no, I recommend that movie. Anybody who wants to watch a stupid fucking Seth Rogen movie, watch Observe and Report.
Oh man.
Talk about other sleepers though, aside from Pig. I've been getting more into the Warhammer 40K
Oh yeah.
lore and watching videos, and I've recently read a book, and this all kind of stemmed from Aiden and I and a few of our other buddies went to Barnes and Noble a couple weeks ago, and Aiden was putzing around. He was looking at the Warhammer 40K books, and like we were talking about, I'm like, yo, that's kind of sick. And I'm like, yo, it'd be kind of cool to pick up. So I went online and like I was like looking at like the top 40K books, right? And like one that like piqued my interest was the Eisenhorn trilogy.
Yes, sir.
And this is before I knew Tim read all of them apparently.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! All of them, for those at home, is all of the Eisenhorn trilogy, not all of the all of the.
Oh yeah,
Warhammer
no,
books.
the Eisenhorn trilogy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's very
Yeah, that's-
different.
I-
Those
as
are
soon
two
as-
completely
yeah,
As soon
different
as I
things
heard
than what
yeah.
you
Aiden
said.
Sorry.
chuckle, I'm
I
like,
thought
holy shit! No,
I thought that was established when I had already said Eisenhorn when I found the Eisenhorn books. So I found them and I was like, and it's like, oh, it's about an Inquisitor. I'm like, well, this guy sounds pretty fucking cool. I'll just like check it out. And like I finished Bloodbound, and I was waiting to get the third book from Leslie, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start this other book just to like get a taste of it, right? I'm just getting a little taste of it,
sliver.
and I was like, yo, this is a fucking banger. You know what I got? You know what vibes I got from it, Tim?
Mhm.
I got huge Red Rising vibes.
Oh yeah. Where do you think
Huge.
Red Rising probably got half its
Oh, I
influence from? His
know.
fucking Warhammer.
I know for a fact he got the this is gonna sound wait. Oh, what color are they? Oh, the Onyx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're Warhammer
Yeah, the
characters.
yeah, the Onyx race that actually just Warhammer characters
Correct.
from top to bottom.
Yep.
But I would even argue that he maybe even pulled some of his like action influences from this guy because like some of the action, like the way it's written, is it's detailed in a certain way that sounds very similar to oh god, I think it's Dan Brown.
Yeah, Dan Brown.
No, Dan Brown, yeah, who wrote the Red Rising trilogy and these other books. I don't even know if you want to call it a trilogy anymore.
It's two
This
trilogies.
series of books. The series, yeah, the Red Rising series. But it's good. And the first book was called Xenos, or Xenos, however you want to fucking call it, and it's good. If you're into Warhammer stuff, or even like a good sci-fi book, it's really good. Apparently Tim doesn't remember much of it because it's been a long
I
ass time
really
since he
don't.
read 'em.
It's for those who've been with the channel for a very long time, which is almost nobody at this point. Someone I was friends with about a decade ago at this point bought me that trilogy for Christmas one year, and I read it immediately, and have never gone back and reread it.
It's a straight banger.
It was good though. I do remember liking it, but I also distinctly remember being like, "But I'm never gonna get into Warhammer."
That's fair. I mean, I'm never going to probably like realistically play the board game ever.
No, only psychopaths do that.
Only
Yeah, the
psychos with
millions of
like
dollars.
apparently
Rich psychos.
rich psychos, but apparently like or Aiden's been doing some research and like there's some like cheaper ways to play it.
Stop.
So like
Yeah, it's
I
called
don't know.
Tabletop Simulator.
It's called Tabletop Simulator.
We all own
Or
it.
really, what Aiden and I are really looking for is fucking I almost said Vermintide.
Vermintide.
Oh, Dark
Dark
Side.
Tide. Yeah, the Dark
Yes,
Tide.
that's what I'm trying to play.
I'm trying to play Dark Tide so bad. Oh my god. I just want
Is that not out yet?
Vermintide in space. It's not. It was supposed to come out this year actually.
I thought I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, something COVID.
Yeah, that and fucking Ready or Not, man. Like two of like my most anticipated games this year just getting fucking ixnayed. Well, not completely, but like,
Yeah, I mean,
getting
thank God they're
moved.
not an Ixnade.
True. True. Yeah, look at Dark Tide, number one on my wish list there.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. That I probably talked more about that than I wanted to.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
back to reading the Mercy Thompson books. For now. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about because it came out was it last weekend or the week before, I think? Back for Blood.
Yeah, that was last week.
Yeah, Aiden and
3
I
games
have
ago, Frayden.
been playing Back for Butt for a while,
Back
or for
for
a little
Butt?
bit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what our one friend calls it. He's like, "Oh, you're playing Back for Butt." I'm not gonna play that game because I don't know. I just don't like it. And we're just like,
He also has stupid tastes in
What
games.
does that even mean, though?
he's like, I'd
He
rather
won't play
play
games
Trials Destiny than play Back for Blood with us. I'm like, you gotta be
Damn.
kidding me.
Oh God.
Is he an alien?
No, he's a
We
computer
think he's
actually.
a computer.
Yeah, he's an artificial intelligence.
He's just a simulation of a person.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
synth. He's a synth,
A
is what he is.
synth.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for real though. This dude likes weird shit. Like we're talking coke at room temperature level shit.
Hey,
Hey, what?
Listen, no,
That's his wife you're insulting.
that's my wife you're talking about.
I am. And you know what? I say it to her face, so it's fine.
Here's a fucking hot take. I think room temperature Coke tastes better than cold Coke.
You're also
lit-
crazy.
also
Holy
an
shit!
You're
alien.
How do we
also
restructure this
insane.
How
podcast?
do we?
No, throw everything out.
You know
Delete
the
everything.
rebranding we were gonna do? Fuck that
The
Yeah,
shit.
next-
fuck that. TNT podcast. One's
Never again.
Never again.
Never trust again.
Never.
You
Never.
think you
Nope.
trust somebody?
Just
Yeah,
when you
that-
think you know someone.
That's
take
fine.
a sip of that room temperature Coke and say,
Is it fine?
perfection.
Is it
I know where the pieces lie now.
Oh, you know
I've
where the
never
pieces
in my
lie. Thank
life
God
also
we know
have
where the
seen
pieces
you
lie.
in like the 5+ years I've known you, Aiden. You've never fucking had. I've never seen you drink room temperature Coke.
Okay, all right, yes. The only reason you haven't is because what is the
Persecution.
default state? What is the default state that Coke comes in?
Actually, room
Cold.
temperature. This is a trick question.
It is. Yeah, isn't it
It's
room
usually
temperature?
served cold.
No, it's every time I've ever gotten Coke, it was out of a vending machine or it was out of a fridge in the cafeteria.
Yeah. Fine.
I don't deliberately do it, but if
wait.
I leave a Coke out
No,
and it
you're
gets
right.
to room temperature, I'll still drink it, and I think it's better than cold Coke. I don't
Jesus.
deliberately go out of my way to do
Tyler,
it, though.
what are
You
you
know
doing?
What the fuck am I listening to?
No,
Seriously.
you know that
You
thing
started this.
where like the clues were there the entire time.
What is
And
happening?
the character like flashes back to every single moment the clue has been there,
Freaking,
and
are we
they've just
losing it?
blatantly ignored it.
Oh
Oh,
my
wait.
God, we're watching him be converted in front of us.
No, I'm not being converted.
Jesus,
Not even close.
Come on, we
Not
gotta cut
even
him loose.
close.
he's
No,
infected.
no,
It's
it's
fun
not
recording
even.
this week. As always, I'm
Hey, you-
Friedman.
You can't
and I'm
Grey
Tim.
Knight
It'll only
me.
be us next week.
You can't Grey Knight me, okay? You can't just kill the Xenos infection just by killing me like that,
Cut
alright?
off the limb. Cut off the limb to
You
survive.
can't just shoot me in the face, okay? It doesn't work like that. You're already infected. No, literally, like, I thought about it, and I even had the thought many times, why doesn't Aiden just put this back in the fridge? Actually, I even think multiple times.
Deep down, you always knew.
No, and that's the fuck. I think a couple times where I was like, "Oh, Aiden, I threw your Coke in the fridge."
And Aiden was
'Cause you left
"Fuck
it
you,
out."
You jerk.
It's a fuck you jerk.
No,
I didn't
that's
think about
fine.
it.
It's not like I won't drink cold Coke. I'm not. It's not like it ain't like that, man. When
I
the fuck
know.
did this become a goddamn interrogation? Fuck all y'all.
I just
Nah,
because
this isn't an
Val is
interrogation, This is a
weird.
crusade.
Because Val
We're
is
on a
weird,
mission.
and so is her friend, the cat.
So is.
Oh my god. No, we're not going there.
I mean,
Tyler,
all right, listen.
Tyler,
It's not like
Val
I take
listens to
fucking
this.
Coke and like microwave it. Like
Oh,
It's
that's
fine.
putrid. That deserves to be cleansed. The
that's
person
fine, and
needs
I'll
to be
join
wiped
you on
out,
that crusade, but not this one.
and also
Warm
the
Coke is fine.
and the
No,
microwave
fuck
also
no.
needs to be anointed. Like Like it needs to be cleansed and like fucking I don't know something. It needs to be blessed.
Tyler, good thing you've just read the holy book on how to do all this.
Yeah, but actually, fucking exterminatus the planet.
All right, that's a little bit extreme.
No,
Also,
absolutely not.
you don't have
Tyler,
unlimited authority. You're
Yeah,
not
Tyler,
allowed.
Tyler, if you nuke the Earth, I guarantee you it's going to heat up a lot of the Coca-Cola that's currently
No.
on Earth. You don't want to do
No.
that.
At least it'll be
You
destroyed.
found the loophole in my plan.
Fine, I exterminatus the whole fucking Milky Way. How's that? Fuck this place.
Just freeze the planet over. That'll solve both your problems.
Oh, I could do that. Yeah, instead of melting it, I could just freeze it all. Just turn it into a tundra.
What were we talking about?
Back for
Back for
Blood.
blood.
Damn it, we're
It's a good
can't
game.
stay on the topic tonight.
People should play Back for Blood. It's a good game. Aiden and I
How's he,
really
like,
suck at
crying
it.
to say this.
Oh, okay. No. That's not true. We don't suck at that game. That game is too fucking hard.
Damn,
The game,
really?
all right. The game is hard.
What
The
are you
game is
playing
actually
on?
pretty hard. We
The
had to
button's
play
Death
on
March.
easy.
Oh,
So here's the thing:
easy.
you have to play on easy. Well, you don't have to, but like
You
you
should.
get cards. Yeah, so you get cards, and the more cards you get, you can build your deck up, and that's how like you build your character throughout the campaigns. And like between each round, you get a new card that adds permanent buffs and debuffs to your character, while getting like these random events throughout the level and stuff like fog or specials are stronger or whatever, right? To like try to balance itself out. It's supposed to be like a roguelite light
Mm-hmm.
of sorts. That's the best way I could describe it. But it's like even with these cards, it's like even like with Aiden and I trying to build our characters out to like a certain way, to a certain spec, we're still having problems getting through certain parts on normal.
Jesus.
Yeah, we made it to Act 1, Part 3, I think.
So, Aiden,
That's
you
it.
referenced Steam communities before.
Yeah.
Is this a common discourse about this game?
It
I don't
being too
know.
hard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for.
I
Is
mean,
this a
I don't know if
comment
it's like about that on Steam specifically, but as far as I know on like the Reddit and
That's
stuff,
what I
like
mean. Like in general, in publicly accessible places, are people like, "Yo, this game is too hard."
Which
yeah.
is even more hilarious because I think Aiden is the one who brought it up where it was like the devs said it was too easy. So they upped the difficulty.
Whoops.
Even we said during the beta, because we were playing the beta, we're like, oh yeah, this would benefit from like a slight nerf, like all of these things.
Lol.
guess
Yeah, I
what?
mean,
funny.
like, so the problem in the beta when that happened was like easy was too easy and normal was too hard. But now, like, even some parts of easy are pretty difficult.
Yeah, I
That's
definitely
crazy.
died a few times on easy to like some crazy shit.
That's
Like,
fucking
sometimes
crazy.
it's just fucking debilitating how many specials they throw
Oh
at
my
you.
god. Oh yeah, the last part when we were at the last part, like one of the last parts where we had to like destroy the nodes.
Yeah.
There we were all green. Our health was all green, all four of us. Inside that, like, I don't even know, 30 seconds, we got swarmed by like 5 or 6 specials. All of them that could incapacitate us when they grabbed us, and we just went down. Literally
Yeah,
all
it's
because
like
there were so
having
many specials.
it's like playing Left 4 Dead and you're just online with like a bunch of fucking shitbags that only play Left 4 Dead and they're all hunters and they just fucking collapse your entire team at the same time.
Yeah. It was bad, and that's easy. That was on easy. And that was at end game where we had a full deck
Yep.
and they gave us all like super rare items and we were like partially stacked like with stuff.
Yeah, we had a lot of like good equipment on us.
We had good equipment, we had good team stuff, like we had good team like support items and like all these bonuses that like didn't mean a goddamn thing when like you had all of these fucking specials that like you couldn't do anything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad. The game is
Yeah,
hard.
that was my complaint from the beta was they needed to smooth the difficulty curve, which I guess they kind of did, but they instead of like centering everything, they kind of just moved the easy slider up
Mm-hmm.
to get it closer to like the difficulty of the rest of the game,
Yeah, you're
which
right.
is just
Easy
too
was
much.
too easy, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna make easy like, the only thing that makes easy is the fact that there's no friendly fire.
Yes. That really is it.
Wow.
Because man, you do so much damage on normal. Like I think Aid and I have shot each other a few times and we've chunked each other by accident.
Yep.
It's like we've had no choice because it's like, yo, I need to shoot them because either I
Either I
deal a
kill
chunk of
them
your
or they
damage,
kill you.
yeah, or the zombie kills Aiden. So it's like, okay, I have no choice but to shoot this shotgun
Aiden, I'm
in
sorry you
that
have to take
general
20 so you
vicinity.
don't die.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
Making the necessary sacrifice.
unlike some people, ricocheting shots and just one tapping me.
Tyler, I've never played Back for Blood.
Mm,
You know, so I
mm.
was just perusing the Reddit real quick, and I noticed something on here. Here's an interesting statistic, which may have played into why the game was so difficult. Only 27% of players have the achievement for healing a teammate.
You really? Whoa. That's
Yo, Dale,
that's
maybe
crazy.
people forgot how to cooperate. It's been too long
Too
since
long
we've
since
had
Left
Left
4
4
Dead.
Dead.
Since Left 4 Dead
Yeah.
was teaching everybody.
Yo,
Every-
Left 4 Dead though, the special per area though was much lower.
Yeah,
Like
like
actually.
see, the thing is though, like the specials, they have a pretty broad like range of specials, right? Like all of the specials in Left 4 Dead could be well, like they were all deadly if under the certain circumstances, but like there are some specials in this that are just fucking annoying more than anything. Like the Hawker, the one that like just, especially when you get fucking mist, you can't see them through the mist, and they're just constantly spitting at people on
Yeah.
your team and rooting them in place. And the only way to get them out of it is by meleeing them.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, there's that one level. I think it was, yeah, how he died, I think how he got gamed over the first time, or I got killed because it was in the mist and literally all I could do is just put shots from where it was coming because we were out in the open. I had zero cover. So it's like, okay, well the only thing I could do is move and like shoot in its direction, pray I get hit markers. I did not get a single hit marker, but he hit me every single time.
Yeah, the like I don't know. And then there's other ones like this. They have like a spitter kind of equivalent, except it just spits at one target and it does a tiny bit of damage. And like it goes from anything from that to like, oh well, this is a hag and it's just gonna eat your face, and there's really not a lot you're gonna do about it.
And it's gonna run away.
Like
Swallows me whole. It's like, well, I guess I'm literally like I'm going to get my gun back from Men in Black.
I
But then she
feel
runs off.
I feel like at the moment it suffers from like if they like made some of the some of the specials a little bit more threatening but lowered the overall generation of them, it would feel better. Because like man, having like three or four of like the mauler guys that come out
Oh, yeah.
and just smash one of your teammates to death, and they all have like fucking 5,000 health. Like you just need one. You don't need 4. Just one, please.
Just one does so much damage. Does more, and like I would argue, and like they're mundane. Just imagine like a fucking just a mini tank that just comes over and just like beats the shit out of you.
Yeah.
I mean, like the Chargers weren't even that bad from Left 4 Dead.
No.
Like
But
those
if
and
they
like
caught
those
you out,
guys.
you were fucked though. Which
Oh
that was
yeah, which
but
is
like
like the point. Not throw 4 of them at me and pray that like my teammate can dispatch the one and kill the one on me as well. By the
yeah.
time you're done engaging the one and then turn your attention to mine, I'm already at like a quarter fucking health. Assuming I'm at full health. Because these bitches take so fucking much resources to kill.
Yeah, and healing I think could use a little bit of a buff too, because like,
I
man,
think that's why
you
you
heal for
have.
like 15% of your HP with a bandage.
Well, I think that's why they have those like those heal builds, probably.
Yeah,
There's like a whole class and deck that's like dedicated to support healing. Which is like, I
yeah,
guess, what we're gonna have to start doing. I was
yeah.
hoping that we'd have enough people to play a 4 stack so you wouldn't have to play with randos, but that hasn't happened.
I mean, it's on Game Pass. Motherfuckers can play it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have talked about, as soon as I am in a house, this is an
I don't wanna
LP that will happen
wait that
immediately.
long. I don't want...
Tyler, if we get good news tomorrow, it won't be
I
that
feel
long.
like by the time that happens,
Yes.
we're gonna have Halo Infinite's campaign.
No, because even when we have that, we don't have co-op.
Well, I meant the co-op campaign. That's
No,
what I meant.
Aiden, we will be in a house before that happens.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't even know when that's gonna be yet.
True.
Tyler, also you
I'm
cannot.
almost willing to make a bet it'll be before you get that.
Oh my god.
Almost facts.
Let's stop the podcast. We've been going for 2 hours. 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm
it's been going way
attacked.
too long.
I'm attacked. It's 10:40. We need to get in
Yeah,
a
I'm
round of
sleepy.
synthetic so I can headshot Tyler anyway. So
Damn.
No, I'm
just
going
kidding.
to sleep.
wow, that's probably better. Not for
Rip.
you, but or for me. No, wait, that's better for you. Not for me. Fuck, whatever. It's time to get off. I need to go to bed too, I guess. Until next time, everybody. We'll be back in 2 weeks, assuming nothing disrupts that, as it always does. So until
Yep.
next time, my name's Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Tyler.
I'm amazing.
What?
Guys, next time. Thanks for listening.
Hell yeah.